Hi guys, we are live on Fights with Friends. I barely got here in time. I'll tell you, I've been trying to speed through traffic at about 3 miles an hour through Seattle. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know I don't even have the right... I'm going to start this over again, guys. I don't even have a title up. What's that?
Nothing. We're just trying to find those.
Can someone grab me a bag of chips, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody grab me a bag of chips.
Sure you saw them, right? Dad.
No, I didn't see them, honey.
They were on the floor in the kitchen like yesterday.
Oh, I wasn't looking on the floor. Sorry.
What kind of chips do you want?
Cheetos, Doritos, Sun Chips. What's going on, guys?
Love you, babe.
See ya. Yeah, I just got home, Dutch guy. It's still from UFC 229. I was running in and I didn't think about the fact that I have to change the title. Let me know when it's changed there. I haven't even gotten this booted up. I should have just started a few minutes late. Yeah, I know, guys. Thank you. I am changing the title right now. I should have started a few minutes late, but I was running in. Got home literally like 5:58. So, driving through Seattle.
Oh.
But should be a good night of fights. Crazy stuff going on in the fight world right now. UFC, boxing, mostly UFC. Those guys can't decide if they want to be WWE or UFC right now.
I found some earplugs.
All right, title should be correct here in a minute. Yes, it is. What's up, TJN? It is good, man. I'm doing good. What's up, Robert? Congratulations again to Robert for winning the Conor McGregor gloves. They are in the mail, my friend. WWE UFC merger continues. Ooh yeah. Oh yeah, hell yeah it does. It's a madhouse over there right now. It's like nobody's in charge. I don't know what's going on over there. And then Derek Lewis fight, says his balls are hot, and all of a sudden he's fighting Daniel Cormier for the title. And it's like, shit, so all you have to do is say your balls are hot? I don't know. I mean, it was funny, but I don't think it deserved a title shot over Stipe Miocic, who wasn't super happy. You know, Stipe asked for that. He was ready. #1 contender. But, of course, they didn't want to actually risk the belt. Because that's a guy that could actually, that could actually win. So that could pose some problems for their big money fight with Brock Lesnar. But I'm having some friggin' issues logging into my DirecTV now. Maybe I changed the password. Shoot, I don't even know. I don't remember. Sorry, I'm not organized, guys. I did not plan on doing a 12.5-hour day today. I thought I would be home way before I was. But it is what it is, and we should all get to see some fights here pretty soon, so I'm excited. Yeah, apparently, hopefully I still have DirecTV now because they are not letting me log on. Alright, they've got to send me a password, so. But who's everybody got? Ryan Bader and Matt Mitrione tonight, and Roy Nelson returns, so. Oh shit, what do you think, Dutch guy? I had like 30 seconds to set up. What's going on first last? I try. I'm typing all the time. Thanks. Hey, what's up, RS? Of course RS shows up for Ryan Bader. The humanity says me. Oh. I know who RS has. Bamps has a tight guillotine. Mitro could catch him. RS in the house again. Yeah, it's been a little while. How you been, man? Ryan Bader all the way. I picked Bader tonight, too. He could get caught with some of that power. I just think Mitro's going to be too slow for him. But, you know, I also said that, you know, that Rory McDonald was going to be too explosive for Gegard Mousasi, and you've seen how that worked out. That, I miscalculated that one just slightly. Looks like we got just a few seconds of lag too, unfortunately. But oh, come on, DirecTV, send me a damn email. There we go. And way to go, Khabib. For those of you guys that did not see, a lot of things changed since after UFC 229. Of course, Conor's purse was not held at first, and Khabib's was. Then they went back later, and realized that Conor actually threw a punch in the cage that nobody's seen. Nobody was paying attention. They were paying attention to the melee outside of the cage. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Conor actually hit someone before Khabib did. I believe that's the case. So, not surprising. I know we got a lot of people in here. It's everybody's either hot or cold on Conor. I like both of those guys. I like that the fight happened. I don't know that I necessarily want to see a rematch. I don't necessarily see why it happens any other way, but way to go for Khabib. Sticking to his guns. They said that, you know, they were suspending his guy, Zabit, that was supposed to be fighting Artem Lobov coming up. And he's like, if you suspend this guy, I'm done. I'm going to retire. So, talk about going out on a limb for a friend. I'm done. I'm going to retire. And that's nuts. That takes some balls. I mean, no matter what you think about the situation, gotta have some respect there. All right. First fight here. Banks and Nallo. Kharitonov Banks in the blue gloves, Nallo in the red gloves. For those of you that are following along on Bellator, this one is on Paramount as well as the DAZN network this time. I went out and bought myself a new microphone since last time too. The old one just stopped working on me. Oh, nice 1-2 there from Banks. That's how you can tell, though, that Bellator hasn't caught up to the UFC yet. And they're doing a lot of things to where once they catch them, the UFC may be in trouble. But they're caught. Oh! Wow! And Kharitonov Banks just got knocked the frig out. Knee to chin from standing without the clinch. Oh, wow. No jump. No jump. No clinch. No anything. Mandel Nallo, all 7 wins by KO or submission. And he just put Carrington to sleep with a vicious knee. So I'm behind on the, way behind on the comments now, I know. I'm going to catch up, though. Hey, you're welcome, Robert. Congratulations again. Arkham Sun, what up, Mike? Great job with UFC 229. Thank you. Good prediction, Robert. Yeah, he got it. I'm now your #1 fan. Could you make me a mod? Stipe is being disrespected. Stipe is definitely being disrespected. Yeah, you're getting close to mod status. Like I said, everybody else that was on here, I mean, I've known them for over a year. But I have a feeling, yeah, it's definitely coming. I take my mod positions pretty seriously. So I wonder where my scene's at. We didn't have scenes for this one. You had to change it last time. Yep. Oh. Am I the only one with Matt Mitrione? I know I'm way behind. I'm gonna skip ahead, guys. So some of your comments are gonna get lost. Sorry. How could Conor hit first when Khabib dove out of the cage? So I guess there was something on Conor. Somebody jumped into the cage. And then while Khabib was going after this guy, Conor hit somebody, or it was around the same time. I don't know. Anyways, they didn't catch it the first time. And so they kind of screwed up on that one. But Conor definitely did hit somebody. Khabib is the greatest, said Robert. I personally don't feel like Khabib is in a situation to be demanding things, though. He is the champ. I don't want to see Khabib versus Conor again right away. It's going to end up the same. I agree, RS. Khabib going over to Bellator. Ha. Sorry, that's my thoughts also. You know, I thought about that. That would be absolutely crazy if he did go over to Bellator. It wasn't even close, so no rematches earned. I agree. Winner is the entire situation. And the entire situation is Dennis. He got over. Conor won the third. Never forget. Knocked out. Tony will fight Khabib next, and if he wins, he'll fight GSP. I think Khabib and Conor should get heavy fines for the brawl and bus attack. They can't make profit out of a criminal act. I agree, RS. What happened, Mike? What happened there? Did I lose stream for a minute? No videos tonight. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that was a wicked knee. Conor should fight Poirier or Diaz next. I think it's all set up for Diaz 3. McGregor versus Diaz 3. And I said that I expected Conor to lose. He wouldn't miss a beat, and he'd jump right into Diaz 3. And I think that's what's going to happen. I will be here years to come. Oh, that's sweet, Robert. That's awesome. Stipe got KTFO in the first round. Yes, he did. Oh, yeah, Cormier is scared of Stipe going to fight Lewis, who only gets 1 month's rest after that poor performance. Yeah, that was not a championship-earning performance. He said that himself. He's an Indiana guy, so he's hot all around those parts. Bader is going to win, says Robert. I think so, too. 2 different cases. UFC set this up in a way Jones will fight Cormier again. Open your eyes. Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to fight Jones before he leaves. He gets in, you know, his spoils, his money with Derek Lewis. He may or may not fight Brock Lesnar. But UFC 232, I'm sure you guys seen, Jones is scheduled to face Gus. There's no guarantee that he's going to get past Gus, especially after being out for 15 months. 3 jumped in cage. Conor nailed 1 before other 2 jumped him. Are you going live tomorrow? Yes, I am. How about Conor saying it's just business in the third? I like the way Conor went about it as far as comments. I mean, he did get cold-cocked in the cage. He didn't complain. He didn't say anything about Khabib jumping out of the cage. I really think all the talk and all the mind game and everything, to him, it is just a game. And Khabib and a lot of these guys, you know, culturally in other countries, you know, other than the United States and these, you know, European countries like England and Ireland and these kind of places, we're a bunch of shit talkers. What can I say? I don't know. You can't take what we say seriously, but, you know, the Brazilians and the Russians do. Are you watching Bellator fights tonight? Buddy Cory Browning is fighting Baby Slice. What's up, Sloppy Dave Gaming? Oh, you're buddies with Cory Browning, huh? Nice. All right, well, if he knocks out Baby Slice, I'll have him on for an interview. How about that? If he loses, maybe not. No, I'm just kidding. Lucky punch. DC is skewered. John Jones going to lose to Gus. I think that's a big chance. Second career fight at heavyweight tonight for Ryan Bader. You know, he's fast. He was always a pretty big light heavyweight. I had Conor for the win, I'll be honest. But when he walked out, I saw he was very tense and not the Conor I know. Well, one of the biggest things, too, and you really watch for this in boxing, but you do watch for it also in MMA, is he came out cold. He hadn't broken a sweat, and that's very unusual for fighters. Khabib had definitely broken a sweat. Conor had not, and I'm not sure what was going on with that. What's up with DC and Derek Lewis? That's trash. Yeah, it's a trash fight, man. I mean, I'm glad we're seeing it over Cesura Eubanks and Valentina Shevchenko. I'm glad we're still getting the, the Joanna Shevchenko fight at 231. I didn't really feel like that was fair. to Joanna to say, hey, you know, you got to fight in 3 weeks or you lose your title shot. I mean, she had no control over, you know, all those things that were going on. It's like, I know, you know, there's a lot of people that are ready to fight anywhere, anytime. But I think it should be the exception, not the rule. You shouldn't be punished to not jump in for a title fight, you know, in 10 or 15, 20 days. Oh, yes, I am training at Nikki with him. Nice. Conor's actually lost 4 of his last fights. I don't care what anybody says. I'm tired of Conor. I had him losing his last fight to Diaz. I had him losing 3 rounds to 2. It was close, so, I mean, it's not one I would complain about either way. No, he didn't deserve the Khabib fight. Everybody knows he's the money guy, though. DC is ducking Stipe and John Jones rematches, taking the easiest style matchup with Lewis, doesn't want any part of Blades, as well as being stripped of the title. Agreed. And that's a guy I was talking to. I was talking on UFC 229 about somebody I was going to have on the show coming up and having you guys guess, and then I forgot. We got talking to something about something else, and I never even mentioned it. I've been talking to Brian Blades, Curtis Blades, excuse me. Brian Blades is an old receiver for the Seahawks. I don't know why that came up, but Curtis Blades, talking about having him on the show. I was talking to him on Facebook, and we're going to set that up eventually. Eubanks being played like a fool. Yeah, I do feel sorry for Sejura Eubanks, and she was heated up for this. I mean, Joe Rogan said he didn't know who she was, and then saying, hey, you got a title shot. Oh, now you're on the undercard. It's like, yeah, that's kind of some BS. That was completely messed up. Gus versus DC decision was highly questionable. Yeah, that was another one. He's been in 2 of those. He's been in 2 of those huge title fights where a lot of people thought he won, and they were close decisions. He's got to come in and close the show this time. He's got to leave no doubt or very little. Guten Tag, Baverska. How you doing? Stipe should have got the rematch. Absolutely. I got Minestrone winning. Said, what's up, Jason? Jason Azevedo in the house. Washington, D.C. That's not how you threat your fighters, man. Shuffling like a deck of cards because someone Lewis gained 500,000 Instagram followers. Yeah, that was huge. And it's funny, I was listening to Derek Lewis the day before the announcement. He was on MMA Junkie Radio, and he obviously knew that he was getting the match, but he was denying it. And he's like, oh, no, I'm not fighting Daniel Cormier. They're saying the rumors out there. Oh, yeah, I'm going on vacation, whatever. And then he kind of gave it away a little bit when they were talking to him. They kind of tricked him into showing his cards. But F that, I agree, Robert. The UFC is sleeping. Stipe. Yeah, Guten Tag, Bavarska. Try to keep up with the comments better. Hey, why don't you get your channel up and streaming, or get on here with me on Skype and get on the comments there, Dutch guy. Judging me over here. Stipe will have to take out Kane to possibly get another crack at DC before he retires. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to end up fighting Kane. Torrin Brown says, hate Bellator. It's getting better, man. It's a hell of a lot better than it was before Scott Coker came in, I'll tell you that. Stipe got wrecked in seconds by a 205er. No rematch for him. Damn. I understand, Howard. I understand how you feel. Gustafsson, better not run this time like you did with Glover. Guten Tag, Mike. Guten Tag, Bavarska. Lewis is trash. Lewis is the best. I like Derek Lewis as a person, and I don't blame any of this on him. I mean, if anything, how in the world is any of this Derek Lewis's fault? I mean, what's he supposed to do refuse a title shot, you know they threw a ton of money at him to fight on such short notice. And that's, you know, that's the deal. My balls are hot, Lewis. Yep. Lee versus Iaquinta. Donkey. Lewis has 1 million Twitter followers. His Twitter and Instagram are great. He's a funny dude. And I thought the whole thing about the Donald Trump calling him before the fight, I thought that was funnier than the balls are hot. He's very good on the fly. He was funny on MMA Junkie Radio. He was busting their balls. If you listen to that show, I mean, I'd love to have him on the show. He's going to be too big now. He's got a title shot. It's a strange situation, man. DC talked about he couldn't fight because he broke his hand. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Lewis said, I can't fight for the title because I have no gas tank. Yeah, Uncle Dana must have opened up the checkbook and said, hey, fans are not happy with this UFC 230 main event. This is trending poorly. Whatever the reason for the cancellation of Dustin Poirier versus Nate Diaz. And this is just totally speculation on my part. But I think the way that it came out, undisclosed injury that they're not talking about, could very well be a USADA issue. And that doesn't mean it is USADA. That's me speculating. And if it is USADA, obviously, you know, that doesn't mean that he cheated. That means that they're looking into something. But this is 100% speculation for me. I have no information. I'm just shooting spitballs. RDA versus Danis in a grappling match for $200K. Damn, big balls, says Bavarska. Howard Rowe, what's up, brother? Danis will sub RDA. Danis looked horrible in Bellator, though. I mean, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master, but everything until they got onto the ground, I mean, he had no idea what to do standing. He really didn't have a takedown idea for a takedown. There's a Baby Slice, Team Kimbo warming up in the back. They're not showing his opponent. We were talking about it in here yet, but he's been training with AJ McKee, Joey Davis, and Aaron Pico. Lewis said, oh no, Stipe got eye poked twice. No more balls. Lewis said he is finally getting paid well. By the way, I like your show. Well, thank you, 78 Sound. I appreciate it. I feel a little off my game today being rushed. Hopefully the title and everything is correct now. At Howard Roark, Amsterdam, Holland. He still popped that guy's knee. Mike Wynn Fights with Friends back up and running. Sorry, my chat just updated, so I'll go back. Fights with Friends back up and running. November 18th, Fights with Friends will be back up. I've been putting DVR videos over there, but I can't stream over there till the 18th. Although deserved rematch more than Stipe because of 10 years undefeated. He definitely did. He went out there and lost again, though. So that's what makes it hard. Heard it was the Diamond's back. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're being so hush-hush about that, TJN, though. I'm a little skeptical about that whole thing. Bader here, MMA Newsroom from Holland. Yep, hello from Yugoslavia. What's up, Yugoslavia? Ramon Decker. Okay, now I remember. Diaz just being inconsistent as usual. The family way. Well, Diaz didn't pull out of that fight. That's the thing that Dustin Poirier pulled out of that fight. He has still popped that guy's. He still popped that guy's knee. Danis is trash. He is not an MMA fighter yet, in my opinion. Dylan Dennis. He's got a lot of work. Mega balls. You don't want to grapple with Dennis in any sport. Oh, he's a beast on the ground. I love to see Dennis versus Tonin. The word is Dustin is out with undisclosed injury. Yeah, that's right. So, like I say, undisclosed. November 12th, Fights a Friend stream ban. 90 days will be over. What's up, comedic genius? Versus no more whiskey, Mike. That might need surgery. What's up, comedic? My brother. Red Dead Redemption 2, less than 2 weeks. Badar Harai. Russian in the house, bro. October 13th is tomorrow. Yes, it is. Do I have October 13th written up on the description? Probably. No more K1. What? Did they cancel K1? Diaz playing hooky. DA comedic. No more K1. Huh. Mikey, you fire news, you fire me too. Only BJJ tournament fighter only. Yeah, he should be fighting over there in, over there at, what's his name, Eddie Bravo's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament, or that Jiu-Jitsu, combat Jiu-Jitsu, where they have the slapping. I don't know if you guys seen, Eddie Bravo has combat Jiu-Jitsu, so they can have open hand strikes and then Jiu-Jitsu. So I think it could be good for some of those guys that are transitioning over from BJJ to MMA that don't have any grappling, or any striking experience, or very little striking experience. And there's the American Gangster. He's going to be fighting Fedor Emelianenko, the last emperor, tomorrow. And I'll tell you what, I think Chael Sonnen's a better talker than Conor McGregor every day of the week. I think Conor McGregor, and I know some of you are going to hate on me for this, but I think his shtick is running its course. I don't find him very entertaining anymore. The Soviet himself in the house, Gaethje versus Diaz. That would be an incredible fight. Yeah, live and free, same time tomorrow. Fedor versus Sonnen. Comedic in R1, edgy bro. Yep, no more jiu-jitsu. Of course, yes, EBI, thank you. Baby Slice versus Cory Browning coming up now. I thought Chael was tonight. Didn't even know. No, it's back-to-back nights. We got Bader versus Mitrione tonight. Return of Roy Nelson. Cory Browning versus Baby Slice. That's all tonight. And then Fedor versus Chael tomorrow. So Bellator's really taking advantage of UFC's break. We actually have 3 weeks without the UFC. Cory Browning, all 3 wins by KO or submission. 2 first-round finishes. Chael is fake, says Bafarska. I thought Chael was... Oh, yeah. I missed that before. Chael is fake. Of course I watch EBI. Yeah, EBI is pretty cool. Interview with Ariel was amazing. Just check into it. Eddie Bravo voice. Look into it. I think Fedora knocks Chael into retirement. He might. I'm a Conor fan, but you have to back it up. Same with Chael. He sucks. Roy Nelson is okay by unanimous decision. Chael is fake. Really can't stand Conor, so glad he lost. Also glad I didn't give him my money. 2.4 million pay-per-view buys equals $160 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And all you guys that were saying, though, calling me a fool for taking the over on the 2 million pay-per-view buys, hey, 2.4. What do you know? I got lucky. But when is Czech Congo's next fight? Congo's fighting tomorrow too, I believe. There's a lot of guys on tomorrow. I meant I had all these grandiose plans to come home and have all these notes ready and have this up and not to talk smack, but I'm gonna my sales rep ordered way too much stuff for the store that I'm at on the weekend, and I ended up with about 3 more hours of the work than I thought I was going to today. But it is what it is. Dutch gang, Stewie in the house. What's up? What's up, Stewie? Look at his record, bro. It speaks for itself. Fedor by sub. ABDC is also good to watch. ABDC. You're going to have to help me out here. Robert. Stewie, what's up? Everybody loves Stewie. I thought somewhere between 2 and 3. Any chances we get to see highlights of the fight on your channel tonight? No, sorry, Lone Wolf. Bellator really cracking down. I showed like a 7-second clip of some knockout, and they sent a letter to my freaking house. They don't mess around, unfortunately. And that was an old event. Baby Slice 3-1, 26 years old, 5'11". Cory Browning 3-2, 29 years old, also 5'11". Cory Browning's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage with the 74-inch reach. Congo got screwed not getting in the heavyweight tournament. Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. Congo is not fighting, bro. He was ground 3 and 5 times 5 minutes against the fence. F him. No highlights for fights. Bellator seems like it has all washed up UFC stars. You're good, man. Just call those fights. That's good enough. Well, thank you, 7. 23 views. I'm going to hate the UFC because of Dana White and Conor. I hear you, man. All the hardcores, he might get some of the casuals, but the hardcores, he's really frustrating. Baby Slice has victories over Devon Brock, Fred Freeman, and Dariel Griffin. 2 submissions in the first round, 1 knockout in the first round. The first time he was on Fights of Friends, he got a first round submission. So we'll see if it was a fluke or if being on Fights of Friends is good luck for Baby Slice. I had a warning from Bellator too because I used footage of their promo. Yeah, they're nuts, man. They're super aggressive. Oh, big right hand from Kimbo right out of the gate, and he goes for the takedown and gets it. He's in Cory Browning's guard. Oh, hammer fist from Kimbo. Great ground and pound. Kimbo just flips him over. It took his back for a minute. Now he's got the side. He's going for an arm triangle here. Cory Browning's starting to stand back up now. Kimbo's transitioning all over the place. Side to side now, north to south. He's going for a guillotine choke. He's got a standing guillotine. It doesn't look like he's got anything that Cory Browning muscles his way out of that. You can see how green these guys are by all the movements and stuff. Nice knee to the head there from Kimbo, knee to the body, and he gets another takedown. Cory Browning pops right back up against the fence. Oh, beautiful knee to the body, and that might have hurt Cory Browning. Another knee to the body. We are seeing, uppercut from behind. We are seeing a complete game in this first minute and 15 seconds from young Baby Slice. And he goes for a sweep there. He goes for an Ochigari. That's not something you really ever do. That's not a throw that you just go in there and usually land on somebody. It's usually you get a single leg and take the other leg out. It's an outer reaping sweep. Usually you want to go with an inside sweep if you're going to take him out like that. And also from the clinch, but he went for it. Now Cory Browning sprawling. Kimbo pops back up. Browning trying to get in some kind of choke there. Nothing happened. Kimbo back up. Cory Browning trying to take Kimbo's back there. And they're back up. Kimbo lands a knee to the body. There's a lot of transitioning, a lot of movement between these guys. Like I said, you can see how green they are, but there's definitely a lot of effort going through. Oh, and Kimbo gets the reversal there on the sweep, and now he is on top in Cory Browning's guard halfway through the fifth round, or first round, halfway through 5 minutes. A nice left hook and an elbow. Cory Browning getting that high guard up there. Kimbo Slice has got to be careful. Browning has finished every single one of his wins, and he's good now. Kimbo Slice is back in the guard of Cory Browning. And he's, oh, nice elbow from the top there from Kimbo Slice. He's got half guard, real close to side control. He's just barely got a leg stuck. Oh, and now he's got the back. Oh, and Cory Browning reverses it. And Cory Browning is on top of Kimbo now in the open guard. He's got one leg over. He's actually in the half guard. And now Kimbo throwing a leg up. Or, excuse me, Baby Slice throwing a leg up. Flashback there to Kimbo. Baby Slice throwing the leg up. And now Cory Browning, he's got the back of Baby Slice. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first round. And he's trying to get those arms underneath. He does not have hooks. He's throwing some ground and pound. Oh, and Baby Slice dumps him. Oh, but now Cory Browning going for the Kimura, lands a couple elbows. Slice tries to stand back up. Browning still got that arm. He's got his back up against the fence, and he's got a really bad cut on his head, though. Cory Browning now leaking all over Baby Slice. And Cory Browning now has Baby Slice in a crucifix, and he's landing elbows kind of at an awkward angle. Oh, that is a horrible cut. Oh! He's got him in the crucifix double elbows. This is reminiscent of UFC 8 with Big Daddy Gary Goodridge. For those of you that remember that, not quite as brutal. He landed a lot of elbows in there, though. Now some shots, a few of those maybe to the back of the head, some hammer fists. Cory Browning absolutely dominating the second half of this first round, and he's landing elbows to the temple of Baby Slice. The referee is looking at this very closely. And that's going to be into the first round, and Cory Browning does not want anyone to look at that eye because it is, he looks like he got gutted like a fish. I let my dog out real quick.
Honey, ready for a switch? Yeah, baby. Ready to stream every play? Switch to Boost and get 4 lines for just $25 per month per line, each with unlimited gigs. Plus, get up to 4 free phones, all in one super reliable, super fast nationwide network. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
Later tonight, semifinal number 1. Here's Jim Brown.
Cody, last night I got a chance to sit down with our main event fighters. Matt Mitrione very candid with me, saying that he was anxious heading into tonight's fight against Ryan Bader, saying that's not very typical for him. He says he knows that Bader is smaller and faster than a heavyweight.
Mitrione, Matt Mitrione warming up in the back. They're taping his hands right now. 6 of last 8 wins by knockout. He's got 11 wins by knockout in his career. He's definitely had a resurgence in Bellator. Ryan Bader never really fell off. And here we go, second round. Sorry I didn't get to all your comments there. But, oh, nice left and right hook. Oh, big right hand from Cory Browning. Baby Slice started the round with 2 big hooks, and then Cory Browning just caught Slice right on the chin. He's going for a guillotine. Oh, and Baby Slice gets back up and slams Cory Browning down. This is a very exciting fight. Like I said, these guys are green, but there's a lot of action. A lot of times you see these guys when they're green earlier in their career, and you see more action. Baby Slice picking up Browning a couple times there, slamming. Oh, he's trying to move to full mount. He just moved to side control. And he's got an arm triangle. Baby Slice is going for an arm triangle. This looks like it might be tight. Oh, he's getting very close. Cory Browning turning away from it, grabbing the wrist. That's exactly what he needs to do. But he's giving up his back to Baby Slice. 3 unanswered right hooks from Slice. Slice moving him around now. Oh, full mount, and he's dropping elbows down. Right uppercuts, hammer fist. Referee looking in closely. Baby Slice has got him stretched out. Cory Browning's got his legs stretched all the way out flat. Slice is trying to get those hooks in. You cannot see the angle because of the way the camera is there. That's the one issue with the cage, that it's kind of nice and Ryzen. No, he does not have it. A nice right hook there. And Cory Browning flips Baby Slice around. And now he's raining down punches. And Baby Slice might be having a bit of a cardio issue here. It looks like he is tired. Cory Browning dropping brutal ground and pound, and that is it. The referee's going to stop it. Cory Browning knocks out Baby Slice in the second round. That was an exciting fight for where these two guys are. Both of them have a lot to work on, but congratulations, Cory Browning. Where was the guy in here that was training with him or knew him? And they just said fatigue makes cowards of everyone, and that's what happened. Baby Slice, he got fatigued. So that's what happened. Bellator seems to have all the washed-up UFC stars. I don't know how I missed that earlier. Really hope Tony Ferguson gets the next title. He deserves it, in my opinion. You and just about every other hardcore MMA fan, Torrin Brown, the real MMA fans know who should have gotten the shot, who deserves the shot, and that's Tony Ferguson. Next episode of Dragon Ball Z. What do you think of Kevin Lee versus Ali Quinta? I like that matchup. I gotta pick Kevin Lee going into that. God, I really like both those guys. Ali Quinta, I don't know. I'm a huge Ali Quinta fan though, and I like Ali Quinta because he stands up to Dana and stands up to the UFC. And he's gotten away with it. That's what's kind of surprising. He said with this daytime weigh-in, you know, with the morning weigh-in thing, he's like, I'm weighing in at night. He goes, I'm weighing in the evening. I don't know when everybody else is weighing in, but I'm weighing in the evening. So good luck with that. He really put the hammer down, and I don't know if it's going to make any difference. But yeah, I do like him. No more Kimbo, says Viverka. Kimbo is, yes. Tony versus Khabib is the fight to make now. Absolutely. MMA Newsroom, yep. Tony versus Khabib just may not ever happen. Dana said he would never make that fight again after the cable thing on April Fool's. But how many times has he said he's never going to do something? If they remove the cables, it might. No more Kimbo. Baby Slice lasts longer in the cage in this fight than his father did in his whole career. Bellator actually has a competition architecture unlike the UFC, which creates fighters arbitrarily only to increase revenues, but it's starting to backfire. Bellator, to their credit, is paying some guys that are coming up, though. And that's the thing. They got AJ McKee, they got Aaron Pico. They invested and paid a lot of these guys to train way before they turned professional. And I think that's very smart. Agree, but 2.5 million pay-per-views. Papa Dana is going for the rematch. Slice is pretty good everywhere, for sure. You mean a resmash. Except in no less than a year. Playing some Fortnite, bro. Did you see the 6-second knockout? I did not. I didn't get to see any other matches. Wouldn't mind seeing Tony Ferguson fight Kevin Lee again either. I think Kevin Lee will beat him in a rematch. No offense to Ferguson. but he's one of my favorite fighters. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And he had a bad staph infection. Khabib's father's calling the shots. We all know that he said on Russian TV, Ferguson next, and then GSP. Did he? Interesting. Yep, comedic. Look into it, brother. I will get all my info on YouTube, bro. Khabib threatened to retire. Yes, he did. And I think that was pretty smart of him, actually. He's got some balls. Ferg is a tough MF. Lee can't take him. I don't know, man. Kevin Lee is a beast, and he's always getting better. Ned Modelo, so do you think Tony would beat him again? Damn, UFC 8. Oh, I'm way behind on this. Okay, I'm like 7 minutes behind on comments. So, I might go ahead just a little bit here, guys. Sorry. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, give Mike a thumbs up. Yeah, please give me a thumbs up, even though I'm slacking tonight on the comments. I was late getting here, and really, so far, I give myself a C- on my performance. But I'm not impressed with my own performance. But hopefully, it'll get better as the night goes on. It has to, right? We got beer. Wow, come on, baby slice. He had that. Damn, he lost. Due to a stream suspension, Fights with Friends. Be streaming again on November 18th, 2018. Thank you, Dutch guy. One of my moderators for keeping everybody up on what's going on here. Bellator has a good mix of vets and young talent. They really do have a lot of people that they're developing, and a lot of people that guys don't know about, but PFL's stealing a lot of guys. PFL had a lot of people in this tournament. The only thing is they're only signed for one tournament. So it'd be interesting to see where all these guys splinter off to after the tournament, or if they just jump right in the next one. Conor didn't deserve it at all. You are right. At Mike Facebook account is working, brother. Oh, sweet. We'll have to get on Facebook Messenger and do the video on there. Al by unanimous decision. Al was going to dust Kevin Lee. I like Kevin Lee. I like both those guys, and I think Kevin Lee has more potential as far as winning a title, but yeah, it's hard not to root for Big Al. I'm with you. I hope UFC is paying attention. Al is a real salesman gangster. Yes, he is. Conor didn't deserve that title shot. UFC 229. Either Dana just let Conor skip over everyone in that division because, like I said, Conor didn't deserve that fight. Well, Dana actually admitted. I found very interesting that Dana came out and said, yes, all right, you called me out. You said I treat Conor differently than I do everybody else. You're right, I do. I give him preferential treatment. And basically said, what are you going to do about it? So, I don't even know how to respond to that. Brock doesn't deserve to fight DC. Absolutely not. How many times can you book a fight? Odds are the fight won't happen, buddy. Well, Pico is legit. Yes, he is. A lot of fighters make fun of Al because he's a real estate agent, but he's a great fighter. He's a great dude. I just love Al. Conor versus Aldo rematch at lightweight. I'd like to see that. Fortnite is trash. His first last. Eddie, look into it. Bravo. I heard a rumor WWE sent Khabib an invitation to come to the WWE. WWE is interested in Khabib as well as Cyborg. That would be interesting. Cyborg versus Rousey at Mania next year. Wouldn't that be crazy if it never happened in the UFC and then it ends up happening in WWE? I can't say there's not money there for them. I think a lot of the casuals would watch that. I think there's money in it. At Jason Azevedo, edgy, bro. Khabib really looked like an eagle when he jumped out of the cage. Yes, he did. Conor makes them so much money. It's hard to say he doesn't deserve whatever fight he wants. The TJN. And that's where we get into that conundrum between, is the UFC, is it a sport? When they get in there, is it a fight? Is it entertainment? Is it all those things? I think it is all those things, and it's a business. at the same time. And when you don't have an independent governing commission, as corrupt as the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF are in boxing, and I'm not saying they haven't pulled some stuff, at least they do pay attention to their rankings. There are mandatory challengers. And the UFC just does whatever the hell they want, for the most part. What you gonna do? Conor versus GSP would be the biggest fight possible. Who wants to see that, though? Conor's gonna be sitting on his back for 25 minutes. I mean, he couldn't stop Khabib. How the hell is he gonna stop GSP? And I don't want to see Conor fight Nate Diaz either. He needs to get some legit wins against guys like Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee. Nate Diaz fight doesn't count, in my opinion. To Warren Brown, if he's looking to fight for a title, you're assuming that he wants to fight for a title. This is a guy that just wants to fight. He likes to fight. I do give Conor credit for coming back. I do give Conor credit for saying he wants a rematch against Khabib. I give him credit for taking that matchup to begin with. It's absolutely a horrible matchup. The businessman runs away from that all day and chases an 8 Diaz fight. He didn't do that, win or lose. I have to give him credit there. I was a typical lippy New Yorker like that total bum Matt Serra. I like Matt Serra. At Torrin Brown, totally agree. Kevin Lee is a legit guy now. Kevin Lee's been legit for a while, in my opinion. Jones versus Gus, as well as Cyborg versus Nunez to end the year. MMA boner. Yeah, we're getting spoiled, man. It's politics, Mike. Look what happened at the 230 card. Diaz versus Gaethje could really happen. I hope so. Conor should retire. I would. GSP versus Khabib would be good. Nate Diaz versus Colby. That I've heard that thrown out there several times, that matchup. And I'm not quite sure why, because Colby has had the interim belt. I'm not sure why Nate Diaz deserves that match at 170 where he's not ranked. But I do find it an interesting matchup. I will tell you guys one thing, though. As much as he does not deserve it, I think Nate Diaz is one of the worst matchups stylistically for Khabib Nurmagomedov in the entire division and in the UFC. He's got good takedown defense. He's got accurate striking. He's got good head movement, I believe better than Conor's. He's not going to get cracked by like a right hand like that. His jiu-jitsu is legit. You get a trained, in-shape, motivated Nate, and I think that's a very tough matchup for Khabib. Dana White says Conor will fight anybody. Well, does he keep dodging Tony Ferguson? It's like he's scared of him. Oh, he is. Of course he is. Stop ducking Woodley, GSP. GSP don't want any part of Woodley. Woodley would destroy him. Did you hear that Conor told Khabib at the end of the third, it's only business or something along those lines? Yeah, they were talking in there, and Khabib wasn't having any of it. I guess Khabib was telling him, where's your talking now? I want to hear you talk now, as he was beating on him. Maybe that was in the fourth round, but Khabib was definitely talking to him. Colby is making the UFC great again. Nate Diaz asked Dana to fire him last week. I did hear he asked him to relieve him from his contract because he wanted to box. So I don't know if he offered to fight somebody else at UFC 230. Dana White just came out and he said Nate Diaz isn't fighting either, and he did not elaborate. As far as I've seen, Khabib against anyone with a legit gas tank has a chance. Especially someone with an unorthodox style. Why does your video image keep getting smaller? That I'm not sure. Let me look at that. I don't understand why we're even talking about Conor. He's totally irrelevant now. Because we're coming off the biggest UFC supposedly in history, and this big crazy thing that happened in the crowd. I guess I did start bringing it up because I wanted to talk about the fact that I thought Khabib was treated unfairly, and his purse was held. Conor's wasn't. I believe we do have to talk about the situation that happened there, though, because it has not happened in combat sports, something of this magnitude, since Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. At that match, I'll tell you guys what happened. And I don't know if this is what we can expect out of the UFC and the Nevada State Athletic Commission, but it was the Nevada State Athletic Commission that fined Mike Tyson. They held his $30 million purse. They ended up fining him 10%, which was $3 million. So he got $30 million for 2.5 rounds and biting Evander Holyfield's ear. And then the melee that happened afterwards. He also got a lifetime ban from boxing. And he did not get a license. He renewed by Nevada State Athletic Commission to fight Lennox Lewis. For those of you that weren't old enough to remember, or those that just don't remember, he ended up fighting Lennox Lewis in Memphis, Tennessee, because he could not get sanctioned in Nevada. Colby versus Perry. He wants out of his contract. Jason, yep, UFC 194. Khabib acted like a lunatic. Conor knows he can't scare Tony Ferguson or hurt his feelings like he did Jose Aldo. That's why he doesn't want any part of Tony Ferguson, just my opinion. Tony Ferguson's a crazy dude. Yeah, I think he would try to get in Conor's head as much as Conor would in his. Conor will never be irrelevant again. Dagestanis are Chechen, and Chechens are lunatics. Conor got smoked. Get over it. The TGN. Nope. Love his Dagestani lunatics. Yeah, the Chechens, too, man. Those guys, they're not messing around. I remember a kid from Chechnya coming in when I was in 8th grade. He came into our school. And I don't know exactly what the story was, but first period, before the bell even rang, he'd gotten into a fight with one of our football players and hit him with a lock off of one of the lockers. Unfortunately, he picked a big, tough dude, and the guy beat the crap out of him. But, yeah, those guys are, they're used to fighting. It's a whole different world than our, entitled asses are used to, however you want to say that. We got it pretty damn easy over here, and I think, Conor has it pretty easy. Ireland has it pretty easy compared to a lot of these other places. You love them until they don't love you. The humanity, you butthurt. Conor would TKO Tony. Tony doesn't have the ability to hold position very well. He got lucky to get out of a mount from Lee when he had Staff. Pettis had him badly hurt. I think Kevin Lee is a nightmare matchup for Tony Ferguson in a rematch, to be honest. Like you said, that Staff was really bad. I'm not butthurt. That's how it is, says the humanity. Yeah, Robert getting feisty up in here. I don't know, Robert. If I give you that wrench, you're not going to be smacking everybody, are you? Dutch guy here. He's like the ninja, man. Anybody says anything inappropriate, they're gone before I can even see it. I'm going to let my dog back in. I'll be right back, guys.
I don't think so.
Contract the rainbow.
So, guys, all of you guys that have been here for a while,
So what can you do?
or anybody that's in here, I know a lot of you guys are already subscribed to this guy, but MMA Newsroom, the Dutch guy, he's been working with me for a long time. He's been working hard on that channel and helping out. Can you guys please subscribe to his channel? He makes some great videos. I promise you're not going to regret it. And we're going to do some streams from his channel. There's a lot of things he does better than I do, and he's been training me on OBS. That's why he keeps asking where my graphics and things are, because I didn't have everything set up in time. But he's the whiz on OBS. We're going to do some shows together, but unfortunately on YouTube, he's been doing it for free for probably over a year now, because if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you're not getting paid. So I would appreciate it as a favor to me if you subscribe to Dutch Guy MMA Newsroom. But you're going to be doing yourself a favor, because I think you're really going to enjoy his videos. He's got some great insight. He does some great editing and everything over there, and he's just an awesome dude.
It didn't really change too much, you know.
Lorenz Larkin in the back here.
But, you know, I've fought southpaws in the past, so
10-time UFC veteran, 5-time Strikeforce veteran,
the opponent really doesn't matter at this
4-fight in Bellator cage.
Saw him. He's the only one that took Ed Ruth to the distance. He lost
That's one the UFC lost that they might like to get back.
that, you know, it's maybe you can exploit tonight.
you know, we'll
I don't want to get Alex Jones, says TJN. First I was confused to what Tony meant when he said proper ass whooping, but then I finally found out when he was meaning, because Connor's new drink is called Proper Whiskey. Have you guys seen the reviews on Proper Whiskey too? I'll talk about that after I get caught up on your comments. I'm trying to be a part of the cool club. You're cool, doggy. The cool club was the Conor bandwagon, which is now derailed. Where Drake at? Drake.
I'm coming in to do some damage, and I want to make some noise. And
Alec Akbar. Allah Akbar.
great, you know, so
What are we talking about here, Robert?
things have been going.
Even if he wasn't Dutch, I wouldn't subscribe.
All right, Lorenz Larkin, he takes on Ion Pasco.
What?
Other plans.
All right. Scott Coker was talking about a potential super fight in Russia for Fedor's retirement.
Wait,
Who do you think it could be? I don't know. I don't know. Well, it kind of depends on what happens in this tournament. That's got to be part of it. I mean, he's got to fight now against Chael Sonnen. The finals, they already have a venue rented out for the finals. I could be wrong. I want to say Madison Square Garden. It could be Mandalay Bay. I don't remember for sure, but I know they already have a venue for the Grand Prix finals. Muslims aren't supposed to drink there, drunk guy. Thanks, humanity. I'm Irish drunk, proud, and love Khabib. Tony said he would go toe-to-toe with Conor on the feet. Hey, I'd love to see it. Fake whiskey versus Irish, probably born in America. I can smell it from a mile away. Oh, Jesus. Just sub to MMA Newsroom. You guys are great MMA analysts. Well, thank you, David Keller. I appreciate it. I'm drunk screwing with people. Is that cool, Mike? If not, I'll stop. Yeah, I would prefer you kind of keep it clean. It's okay to joke around a little bit, but I don't want to get anybody's feelings hurt too much. And we're usually pretty lenient about what we let go on in here, but it usually doesn't get too out of control.
Now that's a crazy deal. Enjoy 10 golden nuggets for just $1 only at Burger King.
Fedor versus Krokop, maybe? That's a good guess, TJN. And Fedor, over there in Russia, nobody has to worry about drug testing, I guarantee you. Especially if it's his last fight, they're not going to care. And Mirko's fighting at Ryzen coming up. Well, he did just fight at Ryzen. Now he's fighting for Ryzen. But, I mean, he can come back to Bellator and fight at any time also. He was supposed to be fighting Roy Nelson for the alternate position in this tournament.
Edgy Comedy Club, Mohegan Sun, a premier destination for music, sports, comedy, and of course, Bellator.
Shout out to David Keller, absolutely. Why I think Kevin Lee is Tony Ferguson's worst nightmare? I don't think Kevin Lee is his worst nightmare. I just think Kevin Lee is. I think he's a little more explosive version of Tony Ferguson as far as wrestling. I think he keeps up with him on the striking, and I think his submission defense is legit, and I think he's just getting better. And I think he's gotten better since that fight. I'm not sure that Tony has, although he looked great against Anthony Pettis, especially coming back from that injury. Ion Pascu coming down to the cage right now. This fight against Lorenzo Larkin is a big deal for me. He said, I can't wait to knock him out. Put him on my highlight reel. Will really establish myself as a name in the division. Ion Pascu, not well known here in the United States, but he's looking to make a name for himself tonight. And if he finishes Lorenzo Larkin, you can bet people are going to know who he is. I'll keep it above the belt. Good question, Torn Brown. Fedor versus winner of Chuck versus Tito would be interesting. Please let something happen so Chuck does not fight. Someone, please. I really don't want to see that guy fight again. Diaz should fight Gaethje in New York. That would be great. Conor needs a comeback fight that he can win. Otherwise, he'll have to change careers. I think he has to have some. I think it has to be intriguing if he's going to sell as much as he has in the past, though. I really think he needs Nate Diaz. I think they need each other. Lorenzo Larkin lost to Douglas Lima by unanimous decision his last time out in the cage. Of course, he is former Bellator world champion. And he wants to get that belt back. He wants to get that rematch against Douglas Lima. Gaethje is injured. What's the latest on Eddie Alvarez? Undisclosed injury, so that's a little odd. Yeah, a lot of undisclosed injury. Here at welterweight coming up in 1 minute. They got the time clock going for Lorenzo Larkin and Pascu here. Eddie Alvarez turned down a Bellator offer. Well, he left Bellator once. He sued to get out of that contract. And then he kind of talked like he might be going back. So you let me ask you something. How do you see the rematch going between Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee? Like, how do you see playing out? I see Kevin Lee winning a unanimous decision. I see him stuffing most of Tony Ferguson's takedowns. I see a battle, but honestly, I think I see Kevin Lee possibly getting a knockout or a unanimous decision, winning 2 or 3 rounds. And I know that's bold. Obviously, I could be wrong. Tony Ferguson is a great fighter. Chuck is looking in good shape. He's 48. I got to go for him, though, because as they say, you'll never be younger than you are right now. I just hit 40, so I kind of got to root for the old guys. Lorenzo Larkin, 19-7, 32 years old, 5'11". Ian Pascu, 18-8. He's 36 years old. Eddie Alvarez is a pizza maker. And you got to accept the Iceman is back. He was my favorite fighter for quite a while when he used to fight. Pascu's won 3 of last 4 fights, only lost to Ed Ruth in his Bellator debut. So we'll see. Was he nervous because of the Bellator lights, or is this just another level for him? Larkin really needs the W. I'm tired of seeing Conor McGregor fight Nate Diaz. Chuck or Tito need to trip on a wire. Undisclosed injury is usually USADA thing. That's my idea. Notable wins for Lorenz Larkin. Believe it or not, Robbie Lawler, Jorge Masvidal, Neil Magny, Chris Kamazi, and a first-round knockout of John Howard. This is one that maybe the UFC let go, possibly a bit early. Ailes, a bad matchup for Tony, too. Oh, Al. Yeah, it could be. It's crazy. Tony's 14-1 in the UFC. Kevin Lee want knockout Tony Ferguson. I believe Tony can find that suspect chin. Why does your video image keep getting smaller every stream? Oh, every stream. I've just been trying different things. As far as like the picture, this one, I wanted the picture up there for the thumbnail for people to click on. And if I made my video any bigger, it would, it would cover the picture. You know, I'd probably have a thumbnail for UFC still in there, though. I'm sure I do. All right. Oh, and Pasco going for the takedown. Lorenz Larkin sprawling here. Pasco's got his back standing, though. Good takedown defense so far here from Lorenz Larkin. And Pasco starts with those knees. He's got some huge legs. I gotta say, Pasco is... Those are some muscular legs. That guy's... He definitely does not skip leg day. And they break, and they're back in the center of the cage. Pasco with the straight left, the southpaw there. Lorenz Larkin popping that jab out there. You're not going to show Lorenz Larkin much that he hasn't seen. He's been in wars. He's been in there against submission masters. He's been in there against strikers. Well, I said he's got victories over Robbie Lawler, Jorge Masvidal. Nice low leg kick and then a front body kick. Oh, nice right hook and a left hook there for Larkin. Ion wants none of that. He goes for the takedown, and Lorenz Larkin, great job of stuffing the takedown there. Pasco pushing him up against the fence here, but he's not able to get Larkin down. He kind of just keeps trying to shift on his body. There he throws an inside knee. He needs to get his hips in here further to try to go for a sweep. Oh, Larkin kicks off and lands a knee to the body, and Pasco lands a left hook to the chin, and they break and they're back in the center of the cage halfway here through the first round. Oh, nice body kick there from Lorenz Larkin. I kind of feel like Lorenz Larkin's going to get a knockout here tonight. I don't know why. Nice straight right there from Larkin and a left hook. I just feel like he's going to catch Pasco before this thing's over. And he goes for the 1-2 there. Oh, left hook there for Larkin. Larkin lands the body kick. That was a heavy body kick. Pasco's got to keep those hands up and those elbows in. Larkin circling to his left. Nice low leg kick there from Pasco. And like I said, we have the return of Roy Nelson coming up. And, of course, Ryan Bader versus Matt Mitrione. Nice body kick there from Pasco, and he caught Lorenz Larkin low. The referee was going to stop it. Larkin says, I'm good, so it must not have been too low. Nice left hook and a straight right for Larkin. Another straight right for Larkin. A little less than a minute left in this first round. Nice right hand to the body Pasco comes back with a 1-2 here. Nice jab. Oh, good front kick to the body there for Larkin. Oh, and he swings for a wild left hook. Misses. Pasco goes for the takedown. He's got one leg. He's trying to drag Larkin. He cannot drag Larkin down to the ground. And they're back in the center of the cage again. And Larkin's landing that straight right. He's finding a home for that straight right this entire time. And that's something you see in boxing that I think transfer over to MMA is the straight right. Southpaws are susceptible to the straight right, and he just landed again. Larkin's landing that straight right at will, and he lands a left hook there. And he's circling just the direction he should. He needs to circle to the left there. Hell, Tony basically did last week. Did what? Oh, what? Tony Ferguson? Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed you there. Dutch guy and a few others. Chuck used to be the heart and soul of the UFC. Conor is like a smaller version of Chuck. Great puncher, but lives and dies with that. I watch for your reaction. Well, thank you, Robert. Tony is much older and wiser than Lee. We'll use that mental advantage against Lee. I think Tony Ferguson would beat Ally Quinta fairly easy. I would favor him pretty highly against Al, too. Chuck bullies Tito like he always has in the third round and then goes on to fight either Chael or Fedor. If you have time, use graphics, Mike. I'm going to try to get on there between fights. Tony Ferguson would do Ally Quinta the same way Jorge Masvidal did him 3 years ago. Bust him up with those elbows and get a bloody decision win or bloody TKO victory. Hell, Tony basically did that last week. All right, here we go. Second round. And Pasco coming in with a flurry. Lorenz Larkin lands a knee to the body and ducks under a hook from Pasco there. If it's one guy you may not want to rush in against, it's Lorenz Larkin. He's got some pinpoint accuracy in his counter-striking, and he's already been finding a home for that right hand, that straight right this entire fight. He's not a guy you're going to catch with pressure. You're not going to overwhelm him unless you catch him with something big. Pasco switching from southpaw back to orthodox and now back to southpaw. And Larkin gets him with a nice inside leg kick, another inside leg kick. He's starting to work on that leg. Oh, big left hook there, lands for Pasco. He ducks under the right hook of Larkin and lands a left hook of his own. Let's see if that's something he tries to continue to time. Nice low leg kick there for Larkin. Or if Larkin throws that differently next time. Another straight right there from Larkin. Larkin has switched to southpaw. And he's... Oh, nice low leg kick again there from Larkin. Maybe he thought, as much as I'm landing this straight right, if I switch to southpaw, I'm going to land the jab and the right hook all day, the lead hook. So, and he is. A nice double jab there from Pasco. And Larkin pinpoint jabs with that right hand there. 3 minutes left in the second round. I'd like to see Larkin get a little more aggressive here. I don't think Pasco is... Oh, and Larkin goes for a flying knee right as I say that. Left hook there from Pasco. Nice straight right from Larkin. He's starting to throw with more power now. And he's back to orthodox. Oh, and he lands a left hook, ducks under Pasco's hook, and lands another left hook. Halfway through the second round. Nice body kick there for Larkin. But yeah, if Larkin wants a rematch against Douglas Lima, if he wants to do something big, I think he needs to win it impressively tonight. Larkin goes for the head kick. Pasco ducks underneath it, tries to go for the takedown, but Larkin turns him back around into the cage. Going for double underhooks here. Nice inside knee to the thigh there from Larkin. Minute 50 left in this second round. And now they're just kind of clinching up against the fence. The referee may break them here. All right, and they're back in the center. It's about right as I was about to try to pick back up on your guys' comments. Oh, brutal low leg kick there from Larkin. And a left hook lands for Pasco, though. Larkin's got a really sharp jab, and he lands that straight right again. It was like almost a Superman punch there. Another straight right lands for Larkin. Every single time he throws that, he's landing it. And when you land a shot, a straight shot, he lands it again there. Goes to the body kick. Pasco grabs it for a minute. Oh, big right hook. Larkin lands a right hook while Pasco's holding his leg. That was interesting. Pasco picks off Larkin's leg from the kick and gets punished for it. Gets hit with a shot. Oh, Larkin with a nice elbow. Larkin going for a guillotine here. And honestly, the way Larkin is out-muscling Pasco in the clinch, I'd like to see him go for a tie clinch and go for some knees to the head. We'll see if he ends up doing that. Because I don't know if you see Aloy Quinta talking crap about Tony Ferguson, calling him a weirdo, saying he doesn't like him or no one does, and he says he will knock out Tony Ferguson. No, I didn't see that. Fedor fights today. Fedor fights tomorrow, actually.
While MMA is primarily based on physicality, most victories are determined during the pre-fight stare-down. The evil eye, the mean mud, whatever you call it, the king has perfected it.
Oh.
He's a 10-time winner.
Yep, I heard that. Nobody likes him. He actually made some good points. That would definitely be a fun fight. Fedor fights tomorrow, yes. Ned Modelo, Tony will make Al pay for words. Don't forget, Tony was in trouble. Aldo versus Pettis. Dutch guy says, see ya, bro. Torin, he probably would, but Al would put up a fight for sure. He's beaten Kevin Lee. Pump for Daly versus MVP. So am I. I've been saying that needs to happen for a while. MVP is going to knock him into MMA retirement. Al is a very underrated fighter in my opinion. That's a great fight coming up, man. These two hate each other big time. This will be fireworks. Al is a wrestler. Conor isn't. All right, here we go. Third round. Welterweight Grand Prix alternate. I'm not sure why Larkin didn't have an entry coming into this, but this fight is for the alternate in case someone gets hurt. Big John's unofficial scorecard has Larkin up 20-18. I have it the same. Nice body kick there from Pasco. Larkin's, he's been very accurate. Like I said, I'd like to see him go for the finish here, though. Nice right hook there from Pasco. And I think that the UFC, to switch things up, I think they could use like a mini Grand Prix or tournament. I think it would cause excitement with the fans, get some kind of bracket thing going on ESPN. It would appease the hardcore fans that say, hey, fighters are getting shots that aren't earning them. And I think it would also, create some interest. Oh, big left hook from Pasco, and Larkin comes back with a big right hand. I think that tournaments create interest for the casuals as well. Oh, and Larkin from Southpaw here lands like 6 jabs in a row, and he's slicing Pasco's eye up. And a nice kick to the body there from Larkin. 3:15 left in the third round. Another straight right there for Larkin lands. MVP versus Daly. Yep. I heard we're about to receive a new addition to the UFC lightweight division. Is that addition Jose Aldo? I think he is coming up to lightweight. Always tough and gritty as they come. Andre Fiallo has already fought. If it was on the undercard, I don't know. He wasn't on the main card. I heard there will be a whole new fight promotion launching next year. UTC. Ultimate Tapping Champs. Oh, God. That's good, Dutch. Hey, Mike. Hope you're doing. What's up, Daniel York? I'm doing great, man. How are you? Slow leg kick there from Pasco. I would have really liked to see some more fireworks in this fight. I mean, Lorenz Larkin, he's winning this easily. Right as I say that, Pasco finally gets a takedown, and he's inside mount, lands a knee to the body of Larkin. But neither one of these guys has showed me anything that makes me want to see him fight again. And that's where MMA gets in that conundrum of, is it just enough to win? Well, can you continue to have events that nobody wants to watch? If you have a football team and your football team wins, people say they win boring, but it's your football team that you follow, and they win the Super Bowl. Are you happy? Absolutely. They go 12-4, they make the playoffs, they beat your most hated team. You know, you're happy. Pretty much no matter what their style is, you're happy to see them win. MMA is a little different. Pasco, good job of switching from head to body here in the ground and pound. 1:10 left in the third round. I think he's winning this last round. Come on, News, you better than that. Okay. I'm sick of all the talk about 229. I bashed it. At Mike Review, at all, Andre Feely win. Unless he was fighting on the undercard, I didn't see him fight. So he might still be coming on the main card. He didn't fight yet, I am correct. Okay. Imagine if Tony Ferguson would have fought Edson Barbosa at 229. That leg would have messed up all over again. Oh, that would have been a horrible guy to give him. Or Gaethje. Imagine Gaethje with those leg kicks. I saw someone threw a punch at the weigh-in boxing today. Crawford? I didn't see that. I wouldn't be surprised to see boxing start following that same game plan, though. Pasco he's going for an ankle lock here with a few seconds left, and Larkin breaks out of it. And lands some big hooks in the guard of Pasco to end the fight there. So I got that one 2 rounds to 1. Lorenz Larkin 29-28. I would have liked to see a more entertaining fight, but we get to move on. Aldo should have went up to lightweight after the first max loss. Aldo versus Diaz. Yeah, I've heard that would be a good one. Tom Brady is forever the GOATs. TJ. Aldo should fight Justin. Oh, I think Aldo would be in a world of hurt against Gaethje. For some reason, I wasn't really thinking Aldo seems too small for 155, but then when I think about him fighting Justin Gaethje or a guy like like James Vick, he starts to seem small. So I don't know. Khabib would smash your Ager Proper 27-0. DC should fight Black Beast. He is. Tony had me nervous as hell at UFC 229. He's limping off those legs kicks from Pettis. Rockhold should versus Weidman. That's a good fight. Rockman and Weidman rematch is a great fight. Jerry Rice, GOAT. Gaethje is such a tough matchup for anyone at the top of the division. Would love to see him face the Diamond, Diaz, or Lee L. Gaethje, you know you're getting a fight. You know that you're getting your money's worth every time he comes out. Maybe he should adopt, a little more smarts in there, as James Vick's alluded to, but I don't think James Vick is talking a ton of smack right now. To be completely honest. How can he at this point? So, and like I said, I probably need to switch the thumbnail here. I think I probably still had the UFC thumbnail up, although I don't know that they're promoting me to anybody except for you guys right now. YouTube doesn't seem to be promoting my channel to anybody but their subscribers. Which, that being said, thank you guys for subscribing. I appreciate you, especially to have to go to a second channel. And here's the official decision. And all three judges have it the same way I did, 29-28, Lorenz Larkin. So, kind of a boring fight, but that's a good rematch, comedic. What's crazy is that we haven't heard from Jorge Masvidal since November 2017. That's why UFC will not share info about Gaethje's injury. Yeah, I don't know. Why are they not mentioning Dustin Poirier's injury is what I really want to know. That's a bigger fight. That was the UFC 230 co-main, and they talked about it being the main. Vic is lucky to be able to talk at all after the shot he took. Oh, man, he pissed Gaethje off, and Gaethje just went in there and punished him. There is smoke there, bro. CM Punk versus Jackson 2. Make it happen, Data. Oh, God. Masvidal was calling for Diaz fight last I heard. He's not going to get that fight. Gaethje would be the greatest if he could use his wrestling game. Yeah, he's a great wrestler. Did you say Dana White called you out? Called me out? Like me personally? No. No, I'm pretty sure Dana White has no idea who I am. But Nagano versus Megan O'Leary at UFC 231. How about Dana White hiring Ben Askren to take out Khabib? You know, I've been thinking about that matchup this week. I was like, who could beat Khabib? I was like, Ben Askren. Now, that might be one of the most boring fights we all ever watch, but it would be a competitive, boring fight. And I think Khabib's wrestling and grinding is actually more entertaining than Askren's. Roy Nelson versus Sergey Kharitonov next. Thought you said Dana was saying something about people saying he treats Conor better. Oh, yeah, no, Dana. So the media was saying that Conor gets preferential treatment. And this was leading up to the Khabib fight. In one of the open pressers, and he just said, yeah, I guess I do. Basically said, what are you going to do? But no, it wasn't me interviewing him.
We don't have to hide anymore. Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com.
You're right, Ben Askren is still under contract. They would have to buy him out at 1FC. He can't fight in the UFC. Dada 5000 GOAT. James Toney MMA GOAT. Askren hasn't wanted to face the best competition. UFC needs Mike Goldberg back ASAP. I know. I was wishing he was in the UFC. I like Goldie. I know a lot of people don't. I thought that he and Rogan made a good matchup. I'm not real excited about the Rogan Jimmy Smith match. The way that they mesh as commentators. I think they're very similar. I think Rogan, I'd like to see him be a little bit more lighthearted in the commentating booth sometimes. I know that's kind of his serious time. But if he's not going to be, I think they do need somebody that's a little more comedic relief. And Jimmy Smith is just... the guy's very knowledgeable, but he's also very dry. Him, John Anik, I think is kind of the same kind of guy. They both kind of remind me of a Max Kellerman without any voice inflection.
Tonight, we feast. 2 apps, 2 entrees, 2 desserts. $20. Only at Friday.
The bus crashed.
UFC needs Tank Abbott back. I've been trying to get a hold of Tank Abbott. I know some of you guys that are fans, maybe you know some people in the MMA community. If you know anybody that's talked to Tank Abbott in a while, let him know I'm trying to get a hold of him. Seriously, we were trying to get him on the show before, and then he disappeared to Iceland for a while, and I haven't been able to get a hold of him. But he was my favorite fighter back in, way back in the day, back in like UFC 6, when he came out. Joe doesn't have his Robin anymore. Yep, John Anik is annoying. Yeah, I agree with you, Torin. It's always awkward when he was with Smith or Dom. Dom does test him, though. Dominic Cruz, he's doing that to gas Khabib out. I would like to see Michael Bisping in there with him over any of those guys. I think that would be a good compliment. I think they complement each other well. Because Michael Bisping's just, he's one of these guys that's just going to say crazy things. He's also a smart guy. He wasn't my favorite fighter. I love him as a commentator, though. And I think him and Rogan would complement each other very well. You'll probably find Tank at your local bar. Tank scared me as a kid. As well he should have, TJ. They should get Tyron Woodley to commentate. Yo, Tank, my man, want to talk to you. Tank, who the fuck is that? Oh, thanks there, comedic genius. Bring back the All-American Stan. Yeah, Brian Stan's a beast, man. I do like him at the commentating table, too. That's crazy. Mike Tank Abbott was my fave back in the day. Yeah, you remember him after he knocks that guy out, and the guy's convulsing. It's like one of Tank Abbott's first interviews. It might have been his first interview. Had to have been UFC 6. And this guy's convulsing. He looks like he's having a seizure. And Tank Abbott just says, turn that off. I'm starting to get sexually aroused. And I was like, man, I don't know why. It sounds horrible, but it's like, I love this guy. Also had the only submission in UFC history by shoving a guy's head into the fence against Steve Jenham. Subbed them out by just that way, just by shoving his head into the fence, pressing his head up into the fence as the fence was bowing out. Eventually, Jenham had a tap. Or they can have Bobby Green commentate. What about Anderson Silva commentating? Yeah, I think there's a little bit of... I don't think his English is quite there. Tank versus the Steiner brothers, the TGN. He looks like them.
Boxer, he's a combat sambo champion. He's won many accolades in kickboxing and the striking world. Like I said,
Roy Nelson versus Sergey Kharitonov, heavyweight, coming up.
he can do well. And if he avoids his tendency
And Bellator ended up with Frank Mir
in his mouthpiece and stand toe,
as a commentator. And honestly, Frank Mir
there's no way he's
surprised me. He's not a bad commentator.
no way that's gonna happen because you're gonna hit him. He's gonna bite down on that mouthpiece.
I don't know if I expected him to be a bad commentator, but he's actually pretty good. And you know who is a guy that I expected to be really good, and he's commentated for several different under leagues now, is Pat Miletich. And I just really haven't been that impressed with Pat Miletich. I think he needs to put some more emotion into it. I think it's one of those things too where like he's too serious. And I think he could really break things down. I like how Boss was the best. That's really who the UFC should have went after. Is Boss Rutan, because he'll break the fight down, explain to people that don't know what's going on why they should actually care. And he's got the comedic relief. He's got the one-liners. He's one of the best. WCW did a gimmick with the Steiner brothers and Tank back in the day. I remember Tank had a short-lived wrestling career. Weird fantasy heavyweight fight. Mir is really good. Yeah, I think so too. They should have Mark the Hammer Coleman commentate. Yeah, I'm not so sure. He's so knowledgeable. TGN. I had a scary feeling that Brian Ortega is going to beat Max Holloway. I don't think they've figured out exactly what's going on with Max Holloway, Torin. I hope that they have done the medical studies necessary to make sure that he's okay. But I'm really worried about Max. Max versus T-City will be awesome. Fight on Spike or DAZN. What's up, Aaron True? It is, well, Spike, Paramount Network now. Spike switched to Paramount, but it's on both, actually. So I think DAZN or DAZN, as they say it, for some god-awful reason, I believe the only time it will be on DAZN is when it's at a funky international time, like these Germany cards and things, because Bellator just can't seem to get the times down. And if you're having a Friday one, it kind of sucks because you're not going to get a whole lot of American fans at 10 a.m. like the UFC did for Darren Till. The Darren Till versus Stephen Thompson fight. That ended up doing well, even from London in the morning, but it was on a Saturday, not a Friday. I heard Max Holloway attempted suicide in his early 20s. Never knew Max Holloway battled depression and mental illness. I hadn't heard that. That's horrible. Just want to throw it out there. Yesterday was Mental Illness Awareness Day. I just think we should all be more aware of the people around us and the struggle that some people have that we may not see, and we should be, sensitive to that in our everyday life. So, I mean, I know people that have suffered from mental illness. I have a relative, actually very close friend, in a mental facility right now. I'm not going to go in and talk about names or anything, but just say it's not a good situation. He's been one of my closest friends since 8th grade, and it's really hard, actually, what he's going through. Luckily, he's in hopefully a good, safe place right now, but it's something that people just don't realize. And if you see somebody out there, hey, I know it might sound corny, but take an extra moment to say, hey, man, hope you're having a good day. Hey, how's things going, you know, give a couple minutes of your time to show interest in someone. You never know what people are thinking, and you could literally turn somebody around and, you know, talk to them for 5 minutes. That person could have been contemplating suicide and been about to go home and hang themselves. And just a few kind words from somebody turned their day around and changes their life. It's seriously that big of a problem, especially with our military. 34 people, 34 ex-vets and active military people commit suicide in this country every single day. It's a huge problem, and like I say, I guess that's all I can say is, you know, just be aware of it, and be aware of it online. I appreciate a lot of you guys that are classy. It's nice that we can joke and kid and things online, but most of you, you know, most of the time are respectful. You know when you push somebody a bit too far, and I think we're building a community here where, you know, people can joke like friends and things, but also feel like they're in, you know, a place they want to be. So I hope that makes sense. Not sure how I feel about Big John either. I like Big John. Cool, I have Paramount. Matt Hamill. There you go. Thank you. Graphics. I actually feel sad for people committing suicide. It's so sad to me. It's very sad, man. Max's response to the Khabib Conor deal was real. Yep, Roy Nelson. I suffer from depression myself. Very difficult. Well, that's brave to come out and say that, TJN, and I appreciate. You know, I appreciate the candidness, the courageousness. It's not the easiest thing for people to talk about, but I just hope one day it doesn't have the same stigma, you know, that it does now, or it has definitely in the past. I hope one day we think about it like telling someone to run that has a broken leg, and telling someone to function, you know, telling someone to just suck it up when their brain chemicals are telling them to do things that they don't want to do is just silly. It's just as stupid as telling someone with a broken leg that they should start running. Suck it up. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't tell somebody in a wheelchair to just get up and be like, hey, what's going on? Why don't you get up out of your wheelchair? You know, we wouldn't do that. So I just hope that one day we come to that realization.
I love my Lucky Charm with marshmallow unicorns forever. They're magically delicious. It's back. And it's front. No, really. The triple double crunch.
All right, we have a heavyweight fight coming up here, and the return of Roy Nelson. Like I said, the Burger King himself. This is the co-main event of the evening. 42 years old now, Roy Nelson. It's going to be a 4-inch reach advantage for Sergey. Remember the Stipe match? I don't know how many of you remember the Stipe match. But before Stipe really became the top contender that he was, and then the champion, he kind of came on the scene. That was his breakout fight against Roy Nelson, and he just outboxed him. That's what it came down to at the end of the day, was he just outboxed him. And could happen with Sergey today. I don't know. We'll see. Roy Nelson's got that equalizer power. And he could land at, obviously he could take out anyone at any time. All right, Roy Nelson. Sergey Kharitonov. And the winner will be waiting in the wings if somebody gets injured in this heavyweight tournament. All right, here we go. This one could be quick. Oh, Nelson just barely missed that right hand. Sergey's moving in aggressively. Oh, and he lands a couple jabs there. Nelson misses with a big left hook. Nelson, 19 of his 23 wins by knockout or submission. Kharitonov, 23 of his 26 wins by knockout or submission. And Nelson lands a left hook and pushes Sergey against the fence. He might be going for the takedown. Sergey lands a knee to the body. And Roy Nelson started coming back in that fight against Mitrione when he started using his wrestling. Roy lands a jab there, fakes the overhand right, kind of cocks it back there. Sergey lands a couple jabs there. Sergey circling now, finding a home for that jab. And a straight right lands for Sergey. Nelson goes for the takedown, and Sergey immediately grabs a guillotine, and he lands. Oh, land knee. Oh, that's a knee to the head of the down opponent. Roy Nelson's, both of his knees were definitely down. Sergey had him in a guillotine, and he kneed Roy Nelson in the top of the head. And Roy Nelson may not be able to continue. He's sprawled out on the canvas. I wish we could do knees to the to a downed opponent, but and that one was very obvious. I don't know what Sergey was thinking there. Just like a lapse there, I guess. Trevi Matrev says Roy. Trev McTrev in the house. What's up, Trev? Confusing. Trev. Robin Williams has been on my mind so much lately. Yeah, that was a sad one. Hey, Mikey, Debbie Downer, bro. My boners. God, comedic. Shout out to the TJN. Absolutely. Appreciate the shout out for sure. Subscribe, by the way. Hey, thank you for subscribing to both our channels. I appreciate it. Shout out to Patch Adams. Just like when Robin Williams died by suicide, I was reading Facebook comments. People were trashing this guy, calling him a coward and stuff, and saying things like I have no sympathy for him. Someone could be getting put to sleep because he was a weak coward. He couldn't deal with life. That's what people were saying with Robin Williams. That's so wrong to say. Me, a man from Yugoslavia. Come to find out, Robin had a serious illness for a long time that gradually just got worse the older he got. Yeah, we found that out later. I hear that Roy gives hope that anyone can be a legend. And they're giving Roy some time to recover from this illegal knee. I don't look at people who commit suicide as cowards. It's a brain chemical. It's a brain chemical issue. If you look at the science of it, there's people whose brains tell them to do things they should. I believe they just said they're taking 2 points away. I believe they may have said they're taking away 2 points from Sergey. I didn't hear an official announcement. All right, and here we go. Roy Nelson's a tough SOB. He does not want to win that way. He could have he could have walked out and said, I cannot continue, and taken the win. But that's not Roy Nelson. That's not Big Country. And here we go. Back in the center of the cage. Sergey just landing that jab at will. Oh, Roy Nelson with a big right hand just barely missed. Left hook lands for Roy. He needs to stop eating those jabs. And he goes for the takedown again, and Sergey stuffs it. Lands another big jab, and he's got Roy's eye cut open. I don't think Sergey's missed one jab he's thrown. And he's thrown a lot in 2 minutes of this fight. Roy lands a jab there. Oh, Roy caught him with that right hand and a left hook. Roy starting to close the distance. Oh, he landed an overhand right there and a jab. Left hook to the body lands for Roy. Inside leg kick lands for Sergey, but Roy Nelson is definitely finding the range. Lands a straight left there. This is not good for Sergey. Sergey needs to start circling more. He's getting into a straight ahead fight with Roy, and that's going to get you knocked out. He's landing a lot of jabs, but jabs aren't going to win the fight for you when you're laying on your back unconscious. And Roy Nelson's got that. He's got that sleepy bye power. He's got that sleepy time power. Oh, big left hook. Oh, another big left hook for Roy as he comes in. Now he goes for a takedown again, trying to mix up the striking with the takedown. But great takedown defense there from Sergey. Nice right hand to the body there from Sergey. Minute and a half left in the first round. Oh, Roy just caught him with a big left hook right on the chin. Oh, Roy moving in. Roy is slugging. Oh, he caught him with another big left. Here comes Roy. Oh, big left hook to the body for Sergey, and that hurt Roy. He might have caught him with a liver shot. Oh, and Roy continues to swing leather. Big left from Sergey, but Roy is not backing off. Big right uppercut from Sergey. Another left from Sergey. Straight right. Knee to the head from Sergey. 2 knees to the head. Big left hook from Roy. Another knee to the head from Sergey. And Roy just continues to throw bombs. Sergey lands a big right uppercut inside. Roy with the right uppercut. Oh, big uppercut from Sergey. And a left hook. Sergey almost lifted Roy Nelson off his feet with that uppercut. And he does not step down, though. He will not back up an inch. Big right hook from Sergey. Right uppercut. Another right hook. Roy Nelson starting to take some punishment now. This is not what we like to see from these veterans. Nice straight right there. Lands for Roy Nelson. But in the pass. Oh, big left hook from Sergey. Straight right. Oh, and a big left uppercut from Sergey. Big 1-2. Roy's head bounces off of the cage. Right uppercut. Knees to the face. Dan Miragliotta should step in and stop this. 2 huge right uppercuts. 3 right uppercuts. And a knee to the face. And Roy Nelson is out. With seconds left in the first round, Sergey Kharitonov knocks out Roy Nelson. And they're getting Nelson up, but he is shaky. They should set him down on a stool. And I'm not sure Roy realizes that the fight's over. Wow, let's take a look at the replay here. Sergey, it was most that right uppercut and the knees through the middle. Roy just refuses to defend himself. When you're going against these power punchers, you could only go to the well so many times and just slug it out with guys without defending yourself. Roy's power has been absent for a while. And then it's like, once someone dies by suicide, the family wants to get all angry at the person who killed themselves. People don't understand or know how to manage circumstances like suicide. Mass confusion for everyone. Stewie, did you see the curtain move also? What's up, Stewie? Compassion is crucial in today's society. Absolutely. My friend accidentally suicided. What's up, Kenny? I shot himself at his... Holy crap. He was drunk and having fun. Wonders if he can enter heaven. Damn. Still unbelievable that Roy got walked off by Hunt. Slugfest in progress. Wow. And sadly, that may be the end of Roy Nelson's career, but for him, I hope it is. I was a big Roy Nelson fan for a lot of years. He had that power. He's got that heart. He just doesn't have the defense. He doesn't have the quickness anymore. He's 42 years old, and he's a 42-year-old guy who's never taken care of his body. He's never got his diet under control. He's never got himself in shape. If he has, it's been many years. And all those things compounding, I just don't think he should be competing at this level anymore. I honestly hate my mom and my family. Oh, jeez. Roy not agile, and his tank is bad. His time is over now. I agree, Dutch guy, and he's one of those guys, it's like you don't want to see it, but when it's over, and everybody knows it. And for Roy, it should be over. I mean, could they, in some small league, could they throw him in there against some tomato cans that don't know what they're doing? Watch him get a couple entertaining knockouts, maybe. But, I mean, that's something they do in boxing. It's not something we generally do in MMA. And I wouldn't mind seeing, that for one match. Some of these guys to get kind of a celebratory win, they put them in against somebody who, is kind of a sacrificial lamb. I'm okay with that if it's a retirement fight. But yeah, Roy's just not competitive anymore. It's PD time for Roy, says Comedic. Man, I'm sad. Roy was one of my favorites. Me too, man. He's fine. Derek Lewis is going to get his ass beat by DC. I like Derek, but he doesn't take the sport seriously. Eating Popeyes and McDonald's, that Burger King, that's not the right foods for a pro fighter to be eating. Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I think that's a mismatch. Roy Nelson was my Ron Jeremy of MMA. Oh, God. Saw Roy at the UFC Fan Expo. He was great with all the fans getting autographs. I could see him being like that. He seems like a real nice, down-to-earth guy. 4:59 of the first round there for Sergey, but you cannot say that was an early stoppage. If anything, I thought it was a little late. I was actually hoping that they would call it a shot or two before they did. Just because I hate to see Roy taking that much damage. I mean, anybody for that matter. But you know he's not going to stop. He's one of those guys that's going to continue to come forward. So I'm kind of glad that Chuck's coming, as he's coming back. He's not really coming back against a counter puncher. Ryan Bader, RS's hero, warming up there in the back. He's coming off a 15-second knockout of King Mo Lal in his last win. Matt Mitrione defeated Roy Nelson by a majority decision. It was not a super entertaining fight, and Roy Nelson really started coming back at the end of that fight. I was not impressed with Mitrione. I take Bader in this one. Roy hasn't ever been able to incorporate his BJJ, and it really cost him. Yeah, as soon as he realized that he could knock people out, he kind of abandoned his wrestling and BJJ. I don't know if any of you guys remember him all the way back to the International Fight League. Used to be on the original Fox Sports 1. when they had the team fighting, and he had great jiu-jitsu back then. Great jiu-jitsu and great wrestling, and he fell in love with that right hand, though, and it's cost him.
I don't think so.
Contract the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Seriously, never.
Yeah, Roy squashed a 155 for his retirement. Oh, God. Bader. Brian Ortega said he was going to F up Holloway at 229, right in front of him, too, and Max laughed. Is the Ryan Bader lover in here? What's up, Seven? He should be in here. What's up, Jimenez? How you doing, man? Sorry, brother, just tuned in. Hey, glad to have you in here, man. The way Roy dominated Kimbo on the show. Yeah, he got Kimbo in that crucifix, and Kimbo just had no answer for it. And Roy had, we said, great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu. I mean, he trained with the Nogueira brothers. He's trained with a lot of great jiu-jitsu guys. Yeah, Roy lost. Andre's 459 knockout of the first round. De La Hoya has 10 days to deliver the list of fighters into the commission. I don't think he is going to make it. Yeah, that's... He may. I don't know. I kind of thought that he might be pulling our leg the entire time. To be honest, I didn't think that he was ever going to actually sign the contract with Tito and Chuck. He did that. He has no undercard. Maybe he doesn't care about the undercard, though. The pay-per-view is already available for purchase on Fight TV, so if he really doesn't plan on doing a card at this point, he could find himself in a little bit of trouble. T-City is the future of the sport. He is good, man, and he's young. I want to see Mitrione and Fedor for the final for a slugfest. I'm sure Fedor would like to get a rematch against Mitrione as well. It's about to be 3 years since the death of Kimbo Slice, come June 2019. Damn, it's been that long. De La Hoya said there will be 10 fights on the card, so it's 20 fighters. Did you have heard anyone saying he is on the card? I've had fighters on my Facebook page come through and tell me that they're messaging. Actually, Shoney Carter messaged Oscar De La Hoya. My good friend Shoney Carter was on Ultimate Fighter Season 4, the Comeback Series. Fought all over the world. He approached Oscar De La Hoya on Messenger about being on the card. And I don't know who runs Oscar De La Hoya's Facebook Messenger account, but they turned him in for abuse of Messenger, and he actually got a ban on his Messenger account. So I don't know what the deal is with that. If anybody wants to see it, I have the screenshots, or I can get them. But Oscar will probably just do a pay-per-view card, 5 fights or so. But that was strange. Why? I mean, Shoney Carter would not be a bad guy to have on there. I mean, he's got some name recognition. He's got some skills. He is older, but you know, why you would block somebody like that and turn them into Facebook Messenger? Maybe he thought it was a scam. I don't know. People make it like Derek Lewis' win was impressive at 229. He barely won that fight. He was getting booty kicked before that lucky TKO. Yeah, he was. I heard only Gleason Tebow is on it. Maybe he will fight himself or something. I don't get it. WTF. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll fight full-time on the undercard. I don't know at this point. I mean, if they're that desperate and somebody's listening, line me up with a heavyweight and give me some money, Oscar. I'm broke. YouTube's not paying me. Any heavyweights out there that want to fight me on that Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell card, just sign on the dotted line. I don't think they're that desperate, but Mike, I haven't heard your opinion about UFC 229. Do you think an immediate rematch should be next for these guys? Absolutely not. I do not want to see that fight again. I think we're going to see exactly the same fight. Let Conor get a few wins. Let him show that he can stop another wrestler. Although he did do better against takedown defense than I thought he would. I don't want to see that fight right now. I think he's a few years off. Yeah, Shoney is getting old, Torn. You're right. John Fitch is commentating the fights, too. Hopefully his commentating is more entertaining than his fighting. Chuck versus Tito is main event, and I heard Matt Hamill will be on it. Seriously? Only had 50-ish people watching. Possibly Beck Rawlings. Beck Rawlings is fighting in the bare knuckle fighting now. I agree with you on that. I want Khabib versus Tony. I think pretty much all of us want that fight, Jimenez. It's been... How long has it been since Tony hurt his leg? What, it was April. I mean, he was able to fight 6 months after that. He could fight 3 months from now. Honestly. We don't know what, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, what punishment they're going to bring down on Khabib at this point. I don't expect additional punishment from the UFC. I expect the Nevada State Athletic Commission, though, to have some kind of message sent to Conor and Khabib. And I think that's appropriate. If they punish one, you definitely have to punish both of them. But yeah, I don't really want to see that again. I want to see Tony. Oh, Shoney Carter's like 51. I thought I said that. Sorry, Torn. Yeah, I said he is getting up there. Yeah, is he really 51? Yeah. And he said he wasn't going to fight again. He said that he probably wasn't going to fight again when he was on this show. But, money talks. And I know he's over there giving private lessons over there in Chicago. But I don't know how many of you guys have ever worked in an MMA gym or been around an MMA gym. There's just a lot of flaky people. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that think they want to learn MMA. Or kickboxing or judo or whatever it is. And then they message you, they text, they call. They tell you they're going to be there 10 different times and flake out on you. Then they show up for 1 or 2 times and you never see them again. Boxing as well. I don't want a rematch. Too much negativity. Want something fun. My comment above Andre Semenez is... that Brian Ortega said he would F up Holloway at 229 right in front of him, and Max laughed. I think I read that one. Conor Dennis versus Khabib, some Russian I can't pronounce. Yep, Shoney's getting old, man. Bader first round KO. All right, everybody call your shot. I don't know. Has Matt been knocked out? It seems like he has. Did he fight... Travis Brown? I want to say he did. I could be mixing him up with somebody else, though. I'm sure you guys will let me know probably faster than I can look it up here. But, seems like he fought Travis Brown. I might be thinking of somebody else, though. He is 40 years old now. Yes, he got knocked out by Travis Brown in the 3rd round. He also got submitted by Ben Rothwell the fight before that. That was his last 2 fights in the UFC. And he's on a 4-fight win streak here since he's came into the UFC. He had a first-round knockout of Derek Lewis. I forgot about that in 2014, 41 seconds. He was really knocking people out there for a while. Minute 59 knockout of Gabriel Gonzaga. 4:59 first-round knockout of Sean Jordan. That was all back in 14. If Mitrione wins, my bracket is 100% accurate. It's above. I agree with you on that. I want Tony versus Khabib.
But if Ryan Bader gets past Matt Mitrione tonight, he gets a shot at the Bellator
Just repeat it, Torin. You're killing me.
having that light heavyweight title. All right, so Ryan Bader as a heavyweight. I've got a couple of his opponents. I want to talk about Lynn Vassell, 6'4", 82-inch reach. OSP, Oven St. Preux, 6'3", 80-inch reach. Matt Mitrione, 6'3", 79-inch reach. Well, and that's the question is everyone's saying is, can Bader take that big frame of Matt Mitrione? Well, he's done it in the past. Yes. Lynn Vassell has that big frame. OSP has
Seems I'm the only one thinking Mitrione gonna win. I got Meathead on this one by TKO, says Menez. Mitrione KO in the 2nd. Meathead submission, says Genius. Travis Brown knocked him out. Yes. Yeah, I seen that. Mitrione by early TKO or Bader by unanimous decision. Mitrione has a really awkward stand-up. Cool. Yeah, I think Bader by decision or he ends up finishing him later in the fight. Bader's got great hands, but Matt Mitrione's a natural heavyweight. Twitter poll at Bellator MMA has Ryan Bader 57%, Matt Mitrione 43%. So we'll see who goes on. But we are getting close to the end of this heavyweight Grand Prix. And really, honestly, the only really entertaining fight we've had, except besides maybe the 15-second of Ryan Bader knocking out King Molal, was Frank Mir against Fedor. And the winner will advance to the finals, and they will face the winner of Fedor and Chael. So, like Dutch guy, you said you were perfect up to this point. Let's see. Let's see if you can go perfect the whole way. You're almost there. So we are at the main event: Matt Mitrione versus Ryan Bader. This fight could go a lot of ways. Power probably, I would say, goes towards Mitrione. He's a bigger heavyweight. He's a natural heavyweight. I think speed goes to Bader. Obviously, wrestling goes to Bader. I think Ryan Bader's more explosive. He is younger. Mitrione's 40 years old now. Strength advantage to Mitrione. Mitrione TKO round 1. Ryan Bader goes to the final. I think so too, Robert. See ya. Thank you, Dutch guy. That was quick. Fedor versus Mir was crazy. Yeah, it was. That was awesome. Comedic genius. Hi, man. What's up, Jamal Bryant? I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, man?
tonight's main event of the evening, live
Comedic genius, I can't sleep. Well, you shouldn't be sleeping. There's a heavyweight fight on. A heavyweight tourney full of light heavyweights. Yeah, you're right. Matt Mitrione versus Ryan Bader. Yeah, in the final 4 guys, we have 2 light heavyweights. Who did Chael beat to get here? He beat Rampage. Pretty sure that was Rampage. I know he fought Rampage in Bellator. I'm pretty sure it was in this tournament. Yeah. Got Fedor fight for the win tomorrow. I think Chael pulls that off. I think Chael pulls that one off. I'm not sure how entertaining it is, but I'm actually taking Chael in that one. Comedic says, rub one out. I have medical problems, but okay, I'll try that. Good night. Oh, God. Where Cody at? Yeah, man. Oh, Jesus. Missed comment right under Mitrione TKO round 1. I think you're just messing with me here, Torrin Brown. He said people make it like Derek Lewis' win was impressive at 229. He barely won that fight. He was getting his booty kicked before that. Lucky TKO. Yeah, I think so too. Why you always betting against me, bro? Remember UFC Pick'em. Hey, I don't know, man. Where's JT? JT always, he's like spot on. He kicks my butt every time. I'll bet against that guy. It's not that comment, man. Don't worry about it. Because my balls are hot. All right, here we go. Main event. Oh, and they're turning the lights off. They got the Ryan Bader music on, or the Darth Vader music. Darth Vader, however you want to call it. Darth Ryan Bader on his way to the cage right now. And he comes down to Paint It Black, one of my favorite songs from the Rolling Stones. And he's definitely broke a sweat tonight. That's good to see. He definitely is not dry. And Bader gets into the cage. I didn't see what he weighed in at. He looks lean, though. I'm guessing he's probably at right around walk-around weight, because I think he dropped from about 220-ish to make 205. And here comes Meathead, Matt Mitrione. Guys, it is the semifinal, finally, of the Bellator Grand Prix. The winner of this fight will fight the winner of the match tomorrow between Chael Sonnen and Fedor Emelianenko for the championship. The Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix first ever winner will be crowned very soon. And who will be fighting the winner of tomorrow, Matt or Bader? Matt Mitrione, 6 of last 8 wins by first round knockout. And here he comes to get into the cage, and he says he's never felt better. That's saying something at 40 years old. For heavyweights, that's right about the time a lot of guys just start to lose it. You might have a year or two at your peak if you're lucky at 40. All right, Matt Mitrione gets into the cage. Of course, Matt Mitrione could be looking at a rematch with Fedor Emelianenko. He knocked him out in Madison Square Garden not so long ago. Mitrione 13-5, 40 years old. Ryan Bader 25-5, 35 years old. Mitrione weighted at 255, Bader 299.5, and Mitrione at 79 inches will have a 5-inch reach advantage. Yeah, Torrin Brown, go ahead and repeat it. Bader is going to get sued by Star Wars Disney. Well, no, now that Disney's sponsoring UFC, he'll be okay again. Disney owns ESPN. Bader's KO event. Oh, what am I thinking? This is Bellator, not UFC. So, never mind. He might. Bader's KO of Vinny to win tough is still his most impressive to win to me. Yeah, it was crazy. He's coming off a knockout of King Mo Lawal. Ryan Bader is 15 seconds. Matt Mitrione, of course, coming off of a majority decision win over Roy Nelson. Notable wins: first round knockout of Fedor, second round knockout of Kimbo Slice, first round knockout of Derek Lewis, first round knockout of Gabriel Gonzaga. If he tags you, it's all over. We got the weight difference now, Dutch guy. Look at the teletape. You guys have to see the interview Mark Raymond did with the channel about Fedor. Gegard, if he doesn't retire, will take Bader's title. He may. It isn't my 40-year-old lightweights or featherweights. Oh, isn't many 40-year-old lightweights or featherweights? No, not at all. Look into it. What's up, Mario Yamasaki? Edge Bros. Yamasaki. And for the main event, when you going to replace Herb Dean, bro? All right, here we go. This one could be over very quickly. Mitrione up on his toes. Oh, Bader throwing leather right off the bat. Oh, he goes for the takedown, and he's got Mitrione down. He threw some shots and then went for the takedown and got it. And now he's beating on the body of Matt Mitrione as Mitrione tries to wall walk his way up. Oh, big right hand from the ground and pound of Ryan Bader. That's one of the biggest improvements in Ryan Bader's game is he's got some of the best ground and pound in the game. And it's all about leverage. You see so many of these guys with their boring ground and pound. They sit there and pitter-pat on guys forever. You got to create some space. You do have to take a little bit of a chance to land big shots in the ground and pound. And Mitrione gets back up. Bader still got his arms around his waist, but Mitrione is back up against the fence. He's got one underhook, but Bader takes him right back down. Oh, and he's got full mount on Matt Mitrione, and he's lands a right hand to the body there. Another right hand, half guard here for Bader. And Matt Mitrione going for a Kimura from his back. That is a rare rare submission in MMA, and I don't expect to see it at heavyweight. Oh, nice uppercut from underneath of Ryan Bader. Oh, another left uppercut from underneath from Bader. That is one of the most effective shots in ground and pound that we've seen in the last several years. We see in Dan Henderson knock out Fedor Emelianenko with it. And Bader grabbing onto Mitrione and dumping him again as Mitrione tries to grab onto the fence. Still can't avoid the takedown. And Mitrione now wall walking on the fence with his toes, trying to get out of that. But big right elbow from Ryan Bader, and he is in full control. Mitrione trying to get up, back up against the fence. Bader getting the back. Mitrione trying to stand up, but Bader very close to getting the back of Mitrione. Oh, nice left hooks from behind. Like I said, his ground and pound, very effective. Oh, and he just slams Mitrione down again and lands a big left hook. And Matt Mitrione's a big dude to be working this much. He could come into this second round at this rate very tired. If it makes it to the second round, Bader, big left hooks, unanswered. That's about 8 in a row, hammer fists. Mitrione grabs the hand. Starts grabbing the wrist. Looks like he's going for that Kimura again. He's not really going for a Kimura. What he's doing is he's getting a position where Bader can't hit him. And now Bader hits him again. Left hook to the head. He's mixing it up to the body. Oh, Bader is just beating him up. Now he's pushing up against his head with that elbow. Back in half guard, up against the fence. Matt Mitrione is in a world of trouble right here. Left hand hook to the temple. Here from Bader, a little less than a minute left. Oh, big left hook to the body, and Mitrione is starting to get worn out. Smart from Bader to work the body, and let's see if he throws a knee to the body here on the ground. He's in a great position to do so. Oh, Mitrione grabs Bader's wrist. Oh, and Bader lands another left hook to the body. Oh, and a left hook right up on the chin as Mitrione trying to stand up. Oh, and another big left hook. And that's one of the best places to land your ground and pound. Another big left hook from Bader is when a guy's trying to get up. Another left hook on the jaw. Honestly, Mitrione would have been better off to just pull guard and wait the rest of the round out. Instead, he gets up. Oh, we get big right hook from Bader. 2 big right hooks at the end of the round. Yeah, Mitrione would have been better to just pull guard and try to hold him there. I feel like Mario should be allowed to redeem himself. Just like that. Well, after the... I would say no, but then after what Herb Dean did in the CB Dalloway fight, I don't know that was any better. Mitrione is going to be in trouble big time if he can't defend the takedown. He is in trouble. Meathead has heart, though. There goes my bracket. Where is the fight? Just see your comments. Fernando, it is on Paramount and DAZN Network. Like I said, Bader is going to win. Seems like you're right. Light heavyweights are just so much faster than any heavyweight in the entire tournament, other than Fedor, and he's a small heavyweight. Yeah, he was always a smaller heavyweight. I think those best heavyweights are like 220. Or a lot of times in boxing, too. You look at Deontay Wilder. I think he weighed in at like 214 against Luis Ortiz. And he's got some of the biggest power I've ever seen out of any boxer. Mitrione earning his next name. What's up, SCS Drummer? Hey, just got here. Who won the Nelson fight? Nelson got knocked out 4:59 in the first round from Sergey. Oh, big straight left from Mitrione to start this round. And Bader tries to take it to the ground again quickly. Mitrione with a great sprawl. Oh, but Bader continues to hold on to the leg and brings him down Just such high-level wrestling from Bader. So highly decorated from his college NCAA career. Hundreds and hundreds of matches for Mitrione to deal with. It's just an experience gap that a guy coming out of the NFL starting his career, you know, in his 30s, it's very, very hard to close that gap. And now Ryan Bader going for a Kimura. And Matt Mitrione looks very tired, and he lands another right hook to the body of Mitrione. Nice elbow to the side of the head there from Bader. And if Bader does go for a submission here, I'm not saying that Mitrione's a quitter, but another left hook from Bader, he might start looking for a way out, or he might give a little less resistance. It's very frustrating to continually get beat up like this for 7 minutes now. Oh, big left hooks to the temple here from Ryan Bader. Let's see if he throws some knees to the body here. No, he throws more left hooks to the body, though, and a left hook upstairs. 3 minutes left in the second round. And he's going to make Matt Mitrione carry all his weight again here in side mount. Mitrione tries to get up, and Bader's going for that Kimura. Oh, he's got it behind the back. He might... Oh, that was close. And he's continuing to go for it. Mitrione's very tired. Some of these... You know, some of these submissions become quite a bit easier. Nice elbow to the body there from Bader, an underutilized technique. He's in a great position to land a lot of elbows to the body, though. Oh, and he lands a big right elbow to the face of Mitrione. Oh, Mitrione rolls, but he just gave Bader his back, and we are seeing zero offense out of Matt Mitrione. Oh, nice left hooks. If Bader does not finish him this round, this is a 10-8 round. Mitrione tries to get back up again. Bader takes him down. Mitrione going for a heel hook here. Bader lands a big right hand, and he lets it go, though. Back in Mitrione's guard. Another big right hook. Mitrione trying to get back up. He's back up on one knee. And Bader just slams him right back down. What he needs to do is push himself. When he gets back in that position again, he needs to push himself up on Ryan Bader. Use Ryan Bader's head and wrist to push himself up. There he's grabbing one of his wrists there. And Bader's got Mitrione's back again here, standing up. Slams him right back down to the ground. Another big left hook. Mitrione is exhausted. And now Mitrione covering the mouth of, or Bader covering the mouth of Mitrione. And that is a legal technique. You can just put your hand over your opponent's mouth and suffocate him. Left hook over the top and the ground and pound. Bader just brutal ground and pound here. Another right hook there from Bader. And Mitrione gets up with 10 seconds left again in the second round. That round almost a carbon copy of the first round, and another dominating round for Ryan Bader.
Introducing Pizza Portal convenience from Little Caesars. Use our mobile app to create your favorite pizza. Pay, then come and get it. Skip the register and head to our heated pizza portal. Enter your code and you've got
Mitrione earning his nickname. Hey, just got here. Who won the... Oh, I read that part. I said Nelson got knocked out, unfortunately. I'm sure Bader versus Gegard should happen for the light heavyweight title. Yeah, Gegard definitely could. Bader shouldn't have a hard time fighting at light heavyweight. He didn't gain a whole lot of weight to fight at heavyweight. Honestly, he probably didn't gain any weight. He probably didn't do his cut. I think that's his walk-around weight, honestly. And he's smart. He's 35 years old. He knows he's getting up there. So he doesn't want to gain a bunch of weight for this tournament and then have to lose it all to get back down to light heavyweight. You're just losing time in your career. Bader will be back in the UFC real soon. If he wants to go back. What's up, Judd? How's it going? If he wants to go back. Here we go. Second round of the main event. Oh, and Bader shoots in for a takedown again and scores. Matt Mitrione on his back again. And this crowd not happy as they start booing, but this is Ryan Bader's game plan. This is what he needs to do to win. Not that he couldn't win a striking match, but he's been dominating Mitrione on the ground. Nice right hands and elbows, and Big John McCarthy has 10-8 rounds for both rounds. 2016, I have this 2017 with the last round 10-8. It really doesn't matter. It's just Matt Mitrione needs the finish, however you want to look at it. And I really don't think he's going to get it from his back as Ryan Bader lands more left hooks to the body of Matt Mitrione. Nice elbow from Bader, and he pushes Mitrione back down to the mat. Just dominant, and you can bet Chael Sonnen and Fedor Emelianenko are looking on at this. You know they're watching. They want to see who it is that they're going to be fighting. Should they win tomorrow? And this is kind of a similar matchup, striker versus grappler, of what will happen tomorrow. I do think Ryan Bader is a more powerful wrestler than Chael Sonnen is. Chael Sonnen obviously in his 40s. A lot of these guys, though. Ryan Bader, the youngest guy left at 35. Nice left hook to the temple there from Bader. Mitrione trying to get back up again, and Bader just pulls his wrist and takes his hand down from underneath him. He's trying to push himself up on his hands. Oh, he's up on one knee, and Bader pulls him back down to the ground again. Lands another big right hand, and this is just kind of a repeat of the same thing. Mitrione starts to get back up. Bader pulls him back down, lands more ground and pound. Bader has always had really great success on his feet, big-time KOs. He has. I think Bader has this whole tournament. Yeah, he was my early pick, Judd. I think you're right on that. 2 minutes left in the third round. More right hands here from Bader. And I don't know that Mitrione would have enough gas to do anything if he could get up. Another nice elbow and a right hand there from Bader. And Mitrione's wincing. Something hurt him there. Oh, big left hooks from Bader. As Mitrione he's trying to get back up one more time, though. He starts to get one foot down, and Bader just slips that foot up from underneath him. So he's just too technical on the ground. For Mitrione. Uppercuts from underneath from Bader. Big right hands again from Bader. And Mitrione's got a cut across the bridge of his nose as well. Now he pushes Mitrione up against the fence here on the ground. And Mitrione going for that last-ditch effort of the Kimura, but he's only got one hand in the wrist control. I think it's more to try to stop the ground and pound of Bader than anything. And more left hands from Bader. More left hooks. Mitrione tries to grab onto the fence, but Bader just rips him off of it. And more shots to the temple here from Ryan Bader. Wow, what a long, horrible night for Matt Mitrione. You know he's going to want to forget this one. And Ryan Bader moves on to what should be a dominating decision. With at least one, if not two, 10-8 rounds in there. Could be all three. Bader was the obvious pick in the tournament, says TJ, and he's already a champion. What the deal with 3 rounds on a main card? Bellator does that. If it's not for a championship, they do 3 rounds. Wow, that was complete domination. Yeah, it was. Mitrione just athletically outmatched. Yeah, and it's not like he's not an athletic guy. I mean, former NFL standout. Ryan Bader's just, like I said, top-level wrestling. He's probably the best wrestler in Bellator. If he's not, I don't know who is. Phil Davis is another good wrestler. Which I'm a little surprised that Phil Davis didn't enter this. Maybe he didn't want to fight at heavyweight. And we are just awaiting the official decision here. I am curious to see, with the new unified rules of MMA, how many of these judges start to adhere to the 10-8 rounds. I expect to hear a little mixed scorecards here. Bader should move to 26-5. And, of course, he's got a victory over Phil Davis the last time they fought. Split decision win.
And then there were 3. Ryan Bader is the first finalist in the heavyweight World Grand Prix.
Edric Fedor has a chance against him, but Chael will get smashed. Beat down by Bader. Yeah, fight should be judged as a whole. Love that ankle holding by Bader with his thigh. 30. Glad to see the 10-8 rounds in there. So one judge actually called it 30-24, which would be a 10-8 round for every round. The other two calling it 30-25, which means 2 10-8 rounds. And that's how I called it, was 30-25. I think it could have gone either way, but I'm glad they're starting to get that down, because that's going to come back in more competitive fights.
Starting to punish him more and more and more. You know, there were 10-8 rounds every round there. You know, and so it's just, I don't like to fight like that. You know, but you got to take what you got.
Well, in taking what you got, you had a dominant
Smart game plan.
Now you know that you are moving on as the finalist.
That's a dangerous dude.
You know the fight tomorrow night is Chael Sonnen and Fedor. Who is it that you want to see win that fight so you get them in the cage?
Man, they both pose different styles, you know, but if I'm a fan of the sport. I grew up watching this, and a Grand Prix style tournament to fight Fedor for the heavyweight championship of the world. Let's go.
Well, I want to congratulate you on being the guy that gets a chance to be the first 2 division champion at the same time. That was an outstanding performance. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Ryan Darth Bader. Ryan Bader will face the winner of Chael Sonnen, and Fedor, his wife Daisy, is relieved at this point.
All right, so January 26th, it will all happen. Ryan Bader faces the winner of tomorrow's semifinal match, Chael Sonnen against Fedor Emelianenko. Let's bring up that card real quick for tomorrow and see what else we got on there. I know Dutch guy would like to see me use my OBS a little bit more, so let's bring up this main card here.
Against Mitrione, and now he will travel to Long Island with us to watch tomorrow's second semi-final. Tonight's finish of the night is presented by Boost Mobile. Get the best value in national prepaid wireless. Easy to switch, easy to save. You've got 2 of them. That one.
All right, here is tomorrow's card. Fedor Emelianenko, 37-5. Chael 30-15. If these weights are right, it says Fedor 225, Chael 265. I have a hard time believing that. Best ground and pound after Khabib. Menez, nice to see 10-8 rounds. When that's what really happened. I agree. Honestly, I'm not much of a fan of 10-8 rounds, especially when there's no knockdowns. I think it will be Fedor versus Bader. Fedor gonna armbar Chael. That would be a great way for it to end. Anders, I agree with you 100%. Wow, 265. I figured they'd weigh about the same. Yeah, that's what I figured. If Chael was really 265, wow. He put on way too much weight. I have a hard time believing that, though. Return of Benson Henderson against Saad Awad. Lightweight feature. That should be interesting. Another treat on this one, though, is the return of Alexander Shlemenko at middleweight. He's taken on Anatoly Tokov. Just 2 losses in his career. And like I was saying, we get to see Chuck Congo tomorrow versus Timothy Johnson. The heavyweight feature fight. And rounded out, we're getting Henry Corrales versus Andy Main. But Chuck Congo weighing at 235 against 265-pound Timothy Johnson. But it should be a good night of fights. Chael was definitely not that heavy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, RS. He's training constantly. And I listened to him on his podcast, and he's always talking about training every day. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that, but I think that's just whoever runs their website sucks. Benson's contract is up soon. Said that to Ariel yesterday. Well, I mean, what happens with Benson? Doesn't look like he's going to get re-signed by the UFC, and he hasn't been winning in Bellator. I mean, could you possibly see Benson get cut from Bellator? I don't know about that. I mean, I think he gets a victory over Saad Awad tomorrow. Let's take a look at that real quick. But Benson Henderson's, his Bellator career has not been impressive. It's not been real impressive. Saad Awad coming in on a 4-fight win streak. He's got a knockout victory over Zach Freeman, victory over J.J. Ambrose. Ryan Couture's just not, that impressive to me. But, you know, lost to Patiki a few years back, lost 12 breaks. It's a fight that Benson Henderson definitely should win. If he doesn't, especially if it's, you know, if it's a bad loss, then I think Benson Henderson maybe needs to think about retiring. To be honest, to think that this guy was considered the best 145-pounder on the planet not that long ago. Shemeko by unanimous decision. What's up, David Peterson? How's it going? I doubt Benson leaves Bellator. Yeah, I don't think that he leaves on his own. Benson should be resigned at least for 2 more. Re-signed at least for 2 more. I think you're right. I think you probably will. Yes, I hope Khabib moves there and whoops Dylan Dennis. Who would there be for him to fight in Bellator, though? Nobody. So he's lost 3 of his 5 matches since he came into Bellator. His only wins, of course, he got a win over Patricio Pitbull, TKO, and then the last one against Roger Huerta. And Roger Huerta just has not been at that level for a long time. And he didn't even have a training camp. He was a last-minute replacement. But, I mean, he lost pretty bad decisions to Korshkov, Chandler, and Patricky Pitbull. So, we will see. Like I said, I think he gets a victory tomorrow. And we'll see where he goes from there. So he's 35 years old. He could make another run at the championship. We'll see. What's up, JT? Right at the end. Think about fighters when they retire. Where are they going to make money from? Benson Henderson's a smart guy. I think he would figure it out, but I don't know what he's been doing to diversify himself. Though, I mean, he could be a trainer. I don't know. He's over here in Seattle. I mean, I don't know what the economy and the rest of the country's like, but I'll tell you, you can't throw a rock at a building without landing a job over here right now. That's how desperate companies are to hire people. And now that I say that, after being stuck in traffic for an hour and 20 minutes today, I kind of wish I wouldn't have. But if anybody's looking for a job, I'll tell you what, all around Snohomish and King County or in Seattle, it is not hard to find something to do. Eddie Alvarez, says TJ, and yeah, it would be a total blowout. What did I miss, brother? I was training, so I'm late. I figured you were probably in training. Ryan Bader beat Matt Mitrione by unanimous decision, and Roy Nelson got knocked out by Sergey Kharitonov. First round, 4:59 of the first round. It was pretty brutal, too. Oh, and Baby Slice lost. He got submitted, like Cory, I can't remember the guy's last name. Eddie Alvarez might come back to Bellator. Did he not re-sign with the UFC yet? I know he's a free agent. Damn, Ben. He's done some grappling matches. Oh man, how I envy Seattle. Here in Portugal, jobs are the hardest thing to find. Hey, come on over, man. Have a good night, guys. Talk to you all tomorrow night, boys. All right, I will see you tomorrow, Judd. Roy got knocked out. No way. Yep. Where's his chin? It was iron. No defense, man. His chin was still iron, but, I mean, he took knees, uppercuts, hooks. He took a left hook that bounced his head off of the cage. And he was getting caught with clean shots and continued to just walk right into him. I mean, he landed some of his own shots, but you can only take so many of those. So, yeah, his chin was there. It's just you cannot continue to take those power shots forever from heavyweights and not go down. Yeah, Benson's fighting tomorrow, man. Let's take a look at tomorrow's card since you're just getting in here, JT360. We'll look at this again. Of course, tomorrow, Fedor versus Chael Sonnen. The semifinal, the winner will fight Ryan Bader for the Grand Prix championship. Yes, Benson Henderson is fighting against Sada Wad. Alexander Shlemenko returns against Anatoly Tokov. And Czech Congo comes back against Timothy Johnson. And then, of course, Henry Corrales. That's not the most impressive. That's not the most impressive thing in the world, but I don't know why this didn't transition over to the Bellator website. Oh, maybe it is. My stream was way behind. Okay. Roy could honestly cut to 205 or possibly 185 in rec shop. He's 42 years old, though, and he's taking a lot of shots. Honestly, I think he should just retire. I think Mark Hunt broke Roy. Too late in his career to cut that much. I agree, TJ. And Chael has gotten himself into fights with so many goats. Yeah, he has. I think he's the goat of smack talking, too. I think he's better than the Irishman. Yeah, the belly will stay. I hope Benson, Congo, and Fedor win. They need to get Danis another fight while he's hot. Yeah, they do. Yes, if Chael wins this, I would be in utter confusion. Baby Slice. He looked complete, actually, early. Striking ground game, and then about halfway through the second round, he just gassed out. Basically, it was a cardio thing. And Cory, actually, now that I think about it, I believe it was ground and pound. I don't know why I think it was thinking it was a submission. I think it was ground and pound, and he stopped it because Slice was just not defending himself. I went too hard too early. Yeah, he did. I mean, they're both rookies. They're both green. They both expended a lot of energy quickly, transitions and different things. At that weight, you really shouldn't be having cardio issues, halfway through the second round. So, I don't know what he needs to do in camp, but maybe he needs to run some more hills or something. Go out to Big Bear. I don't know. That zone was exciting, though. Yeah, it was an exciting fight for as long as it lasted. Hey, I'm going to get something to eat and get some sleep, guys. I got to be up at 3 in the morning. But I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. For the second night in a row of Bellator and for Fedor Emelianenko versus Chael Sonnen. Until then, as always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.